Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
You know, Jeff, maybe Toronto isn't so bad. Welcome to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. You know, just kind of echoing the thoughts after the initial conversations between our guy, Kawhi Leonard, the pride of King High School, and his new team, the Toronto Raptors. They have met, and reportedly it went pretty well, and Kawhi's not, at least according to them, not going to hold out anytime soon. Maybe the Raptors aren't that bad.
Hey, I will say this, and I don't know if this is common knowledge, but if you've been watching ESPN, Fox, listening to sports radio, Toronto, if you haven't been there, I'm going to explain to you my best of what Toronto is.
It's just snowy. There's just cow pastures. There's nothing going on, right?
No. If you were to combine these cities, you combine Las Vegas, you combine Amsterdam, New York City, and Los Angeles. That is Toronto. Toronto is one of the most fun places I've ever been in my life. I can see how there's been a few Buffalo Bills that have lived in Toronto and driven over to.
Because how far are we talking about? Upstate New York and Toronto's not very far. Yeah.
So, Jeff, you are saying it's better than San Antonio.
Oh, good Lord. Everything's better than San Antonio.
Oh.
San Antonio is a place you go.
What about Tex-Mex?
No. You know, you go check out the canals of San Antonio. You go look at the Alamo, and you spend 2-3 hours. You've seen San Antonio. Toronto, though, is a whole different animal. If you want to be a social butterfly, like a lot of NBA players are, there are a few places that few places in the NBA you want to stop and hang out. One being Miami, 2, New York, Chicago, Atlanta's high on every NBA player's list, Los Angeles, and Toronto. Those places are hot spots. If you're a player and you're on the road, you want to go to these places. I will say this. Of all of my friends that have played in the NBA, and I have a lot of them that have played, Toronto is their favorite city. So Kawhi Leonard might play a year there. But until we hear him speak, I'm sold he's going to be a Laker sooner than later. Whether it be at the trading deadline or before the season hits. We haven't heard a word from him. And I thought about this, Pep. I thought about this last night, and this is how I picture Kawhi Leonard's home life right now, okay? Picture he's living with his uncle, his agent, his handler, his person.
His guy, yeah.
His dude. I picture Kawhi Leonard tied up with chains, thrown into a bottomless pit almost, kind of like Silence of the Lambs. You picture a guy sitting in a pit, tied up with a guy who's in charge. And this is how I picture it. Kawhi, I want you to go out and play basketball 1 hour of every day. If you say one word, I'm going to hurt you. Now, I'm going to drop this bucket down there, and I'm going to feed you. If you say a word, you're going to ruin all of this money we can make. Do you hear me, Kawhi? Yes, I hear you. That is exactly how I picture. I picture a guy overseeing him, that Kawhi can only leave the house for an hour at a time, supervised visits where he can go out and work on his game, lift weights. Because where is Kawhi? Have you heard anything from Kawhi Leonard? Has anyone heard a word from Kawhi Leonard?
Let me bring it back to this, Jeff. So Kawhi Leonard met with the Raptors.
Did he?
That's what they said. Since the trade has happened, they met with the Raptors. Here's what's being reported, and these are Raptors beat reporters, guys who cover the Toronto Raptors all the time. That's their beat. They cover them every game, all the offseason, all that stuff. The Raptors have had initial conversations with Kawhi Leonard and his camp. Now, usually when a player gets traded or signed, it says they've had conversations with LeBron or conversations with Kobe. It's not conversations with Kobe and his people or Kobe and his camp. They distinctly said in the report that the Raptors have had initial conversations with Leonard and his camp. So obviously Kawhi's not making all the decisions on his own. His camp, his people, his handler, his uncle, whoever's in his little small circle.
The lotion makes the skin soft. That's all I can think of. I picture him Somebody needs to go in and give an intervention or save him. Do we call the FBI?
No, but Jeff.
Do we call the CIA?
No, you don't have to, because we all need to back off. According to the reports, they were all positive between the Raptors and Kawhi's camp. There was no indication of a holdout looming or an unwillingness to play in Toronto. In fact, they said it seems Kawhi is very open-minded about playing for Toronto.
I'm positive he is being held against his will.
No, he's not.
I am going to get part of the SEAL Team 6, the guys that went in and took care of Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
And I am going to liberate.
You going to save him?
I'm going to liberate Kawhi Leonard. I'm going to find out what hole he is being held in, and I am going to liberate him, and then I will take over the inner workings of Kawhi Leonard. Me. I will make sure that he is getting the proper treatment, that he is able to go out and sit in a swimming pool and not be bothered. He will not be held captive any longer, and I will do my best to make sure Kawhi Leonard is in his right place, which is the Los Angeles Lakers, Pep.
Well, you know what? He might not end up with a Laker, because some of the same reporters in Toronto are saying they're hearing some scuttlebutt behind the scenes that Kawhi may have reached out to some other NBA superstars who are going to be free agents next summer. And there's talk they could all form another super team somewhere else. And the team that popped up, not named the Lakers, not the Clippers.
No.
The Brooklyn Nets.
Whoa.
You know what? Don't kill the messenger. I'm just telling you what these reporters are hearing behind the scenes, north of the border. And America's hat up there in Toronto.
That's Sean Carter. You know who Sean Carter is? Jay-Z.
Oh, is that who it is?
Yes.
Is that his real name?
Oh, yeah. When he wants to be serious. Have you ever watched a movie, that's or Sean Carter, what did I say his name is? The other guy? What do they call him? Jay-Z.
Who's
Jay-Z,
the other guy?
Yeah. Well, Jay-Z, when he wants to be serious and he puts his name to a serious cause, it is Sean Carter. When he's rapping, he's Jay-Z. Like when he's the owner of the Brooklyn Nets or whatever they're called, he is Sean Carter. It's a Sean Carter enterprise.
So like
He's an agent,
Puff Daddy's the funny name, and then when he's serious, it's P. Diddy.
P. Diddy.
Right? That
Sean Combs.
Sean Combs.
No, Puff
Sean
Daddy.
Diddy Combs.
It wasn't he P. Did for a while? Like,
That
guy's nonsense.
He's dingling. But so is hey, no offense, so is Jay-Z. He's married to Beyonce.
it's a hard knock life, though, man.
Yeah, he's best friends with the Obamas. He's too cool for school. Honestly, I still see Kawhi coming back to Southern California. That's just me. I think he'll be a Laker sooner than later. Because if you don't win, why would you go to a place you're not going to win?
Wait, are you still holding on desperately to your theory that the Raptors may turn him around like a episode of Flip This House on HGTV? They're going to take Kawhi and flip it and send him right back to the Lakers.
Yes, I do see that, because there's all this speculation, and I'm speculating, you're speculating. Every single person that's talking about Kawhi Leonard right now is speculating. But I can speculate until he comes out and we see him in front of a podium with a microphone. I'm going to speculate until he is a Laker. I'm going to will it into existence, a lot like LeVar Ball.
All right, LeVar.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so that's the latest on Kawhi Leonard. There has been initial conversations from various reports that the conversations were good. That, everyone was saying, oh, man, what if Kawhi holds out? He doesn't want to play for Toronto. He's not going to show up. He's not going to be there. But it sounds like, hey, you know what? He might actually play for the Raptors, maybe for an entire season. Or if you're Jeff, you think he might just get traded before we even see him in a Raptors uniform.
I still think he gets traded. And the one thing is, his persona has taken a hit faster than any athlete I think I've ever seen, outside of the guy that beat his girlfriend a couple years ago, the running back for the
Ray Rice.
Ray Rice. His personality, his lifeblood has taken a hit. Kawhi Leonard is a good guy, but I do think that he needs to say something. I think that they're also doing a little patchwork. I think his camp, as we said, they're not going to say we're unhappy. Send us to L.A. Because guess what? Right now, not a lot of people like Kawhi Leonard. The only people that like Kawhi Leonard right now are the Toronto Raptor fans. That's it. No one else. Laker fans are unsure of him. We know in San Antonio they don't like him. And he's a polarizing figure across the NBA. Not too many people are Kawhi Leonard fans.
Okay, is it his own doing? It
Gotta fix his
is.
image.
It is. But it's not necessarily like he's a bad guy, like you said.
No.
He's a good guy, but it's almost his own doing because he has not come out and said anything. So now we have to jump to conclusions, which we do. I do it. You do it. All the media is doing it. We have to jump to conclusions that he forced his way out of San Antonio, and now he's having issues playing in Toronto. He's not going to show up. Like it just looks bad. If he'd come out and maybe explain the whole story, I don't know. But is it his own doing? Yes. Is he a bad guy? No, he's not a bad guy. But we just want to know. We want to know what's going on. We're being nosy.
I think he's surrounding himself with people that aren't very intelligent. And I'm sorry if I'm offending anyone, but Pep, you and I were looking through some of the bylaws of the NBA, and we were able to find things that I'm sure we'll talk about later on in the show that really can affect a player in his future. And I think that they made hasty decisions without really knowing what's going on. A lack of information on Kawhi's camp has really hurt Kawhi Leonard.
Well, okay, so here's the deal. Later in this hour, before 4 o'clock, we're going to talk about the consequences if Kawhi Leonard decides not to play for the Toronto Raptors. If he says, I'm holding out, I'm not showing up, you will never see me in a Raptors uniform, there are big-time consequences financially and also repercussions to his free agent status. So we're going to get to that later in the show. But that's only if he doesn't report. Right now, it sounds like both sides are, as they put, open-minded, very positive about him playing in Toronto. So we'll see if that actually pans out. The Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick quality oil change. You can spoil yourself and your car every 3,000 or 5,000 miles. You got to get that oil change. In fact, you're overdue right now. Go to Spoiled, quick quality oil change off of Alessandro Boulevard, off the 215 freeway between Riverside and Moreno Valley. It's so easy to get to. I was there last weekend. Barely sat down. They said, your car's ready. And I was on my way to Temecula, having the best day of my life. Spoiled, quick quality oil change. All right, Jeff, how about this? People were talking about who will bring Los Angeles, Southern California, and the Inland Empire a title first. LeBron James for the Lakers or Manny Machado to the Dodgers. Who brings the title first?
Well, here's the deal, Pep.
What's the deal?
It has to be Manny Machado.
It has to be, right?
Because he's only on a 2.5-month rental. I don't see the Dodgers signing him next year. So he better win it this year, or we're going to have to say it's going to be LeBron James.
You know what's funny is, I think Manny Machado is going to get the Dodgers to the World Series. I don't know if they've got enough to beat the Red Sox or the Astros in the World Series, but I think he's going to get them to the World Series. But the addition of Manny Machado, which will start on Friday as the Dodgers play the Brewers to open up the second half of the season, I saw all of these projected mock Dodger lineups. Remember, we did one yesterday.
Yes.
I stayed up late. I was trying to figure it all out. My lineup is actually different from the so-called experts. So I can't wait to see that first Dodger lineup on Friday against the Brewers, because I want to see if I got it right. And if I got it wrong, I'll call myself out on it. But these experts have a little bit, there's some variance in the lineup between mine and theirs. Because with Manny Machado going in to play shortstop, it's going to change everything. Although he has backed off his stance where, hey, I'm a shortstop. Now he's saying, hey, I'll do whatever the team needs. So we might see Manny Machado play a lot of third base. And that he's actually played more games at third base than shortstop.
Yeah, he did play a lot of at third base. And he came out earlier this season, said he is a shortstop. But I think if you're going to go short term with him, you got to do what's best for the team. And I think he probably wants to do what's best for the team. He seems to be excited to be a Dodger. Who wouldn't be? A team that was very close to winning the World Series last year. But like you said, I think the American League is a dominant league this year. There are some great teams, and I think a lot of it is overlooked because guess what? The Houston Astros are better than they were last year. Houston is dominant, but yet we have teams like New York, Boston. We have teams out there that can knock off anybody in the National League. The Dodgers, though, Manny Machado, I'm excited for what's going to happen. I still thought they would have been to the World Series without Manny Machado. But now this is going to add a lot more pop, and that lineup from top to bottom is pretty darn dangerous.
I'm a Mets guy. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah, very much so. And the Dodgers have had a great relationship with the Mets.
They have.
I really thought the Dodgers should have gone out and got another arm, and the best arm.
Jacob deGrom, right?
Jacob deGrom. The only problem is with
There's
Jacob
still
deGrom,
time.
He's a right-handed pitcher. They need a left-handed pitcher in that lineup. But he's one guy I thought that the Dodgers, they've had a great relationship over the years.
There's still time. I'm not saying it won't happen, but there's still time to get Jacob deGrom. But I bring up the Mets because I'm going to Google this in the break. Justin Turner came up with the Mets, and I think he came up as a second baseman. So just hear me out just for a second. Let's say the Dodgers love Manny Machado. He has a great season. Maybe he leads them to a World Series title. There's like, you know what? We're going to keep Manny Machado. We're going to keep Seager. We're going to keep Justin Turner. We're going to keep everybody. Think about this. What if you play Manny Machado at third, Seager at short when he's healthy next year, and Justin Turner at second, and you keep Bellinger at first?
Where's Muncy going to be?
I don't know, man. Mad Max. I don't know. He's the odd man out. There's always going to be an odd man out. Wait. Unless you put Muncy at first and put Bellinger in center field.
Yeah,
I could do that. You could do that too. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look up Justin Turner. His early Mets days, I believe he was a second baseman. I'm just saying, if they're going to try to find room for everybody so we can all be one big happy family in Dodger blue, I think there's a chance.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, if it's not out of the realm of possibilities. Let's think of some of the second basemen that the Dodgers have had that were very successful. Steve Sax. He's better than Steve Sax was, for God's sakes. Would you agree there?
I don't remember. Yeah, Steve Sax couldn't hit very well, but I remember him a little bit.
Steve Sax remember he had the yips. He couldn't throw from second base to first base. That's why the Dodgers got rid of him. Got rid of him in '88, and then he goes over and played for New York after that. Yeah, but he's a much better player than that. JT would be a great second baseman. I put Max Muncy out in right field, for God's sakes. You can't lose that bat, Pep.
You can't. You can't take out Matt Kemp.
Move his butt. Move Matt
You would
Kemp
have
more.
to. If they kept Machado and Corey Seager was healthy, I would go around the infield from third to first. I'd go Machado, Seager at short, JT at second. If you like Muncy that much, you put Muncy at first, and then you put Cody Bellinger in center field. Then you put Matt Kemp in right, and left field would probably be Puig or Peterson.
What about Hernandez?
The odd guy out. He's going to be your utility guy.
Yeah.
He can play short. He can play second. He'll play in the outfield. Right? I mean, if they kept everybody, if we were one big happy family and kept everybody in-house, I think it would look something like that.
But the way that the manager Roberts always rotates them, so why not have that like that? I don't believe he has a solid rotation or a starting lineup all the time. I believe he always switches it, so that's kind of in a good way. He has extra players to switch off.
Yeah, I agree there. But once you hit the playoffs and you have to have these guys in the lineup every day, who's going to be the odd man out? Because you look at it either
last
way.
World Series, they started switching players as well. They started rotating players.
And they lost. They lost to an American League team. And they've got to solidify some sort of lineup before they hit the playoffs.
I blame that World Series on you.
Why?
On Jeff?
No,
Oh.
you, Darvish.
Oh,
You, Darvish.
Let's blame it on Jeff
Yeah.
and you.
I was like, me. Whoa.
Jeff. I'm going to blame it on Jeff.
You can do it.
All right, and also the other big news today, we have not seen anything. I just checked. Shohei Ohtani was being reevaluated today because of that UCL injury, that ligament in his elbow. He's hitting, but he's not pitching, and he's going to be reevaluated today. So if we hear anything on that, we will pass that along. And your update from the British Open here as we round out our inland sports headlines. They call it the Open. It's the British Open. Come on, don't be so conceited. Kevin Kisner, he's an American. He's at 500 par, and he leads the entire field. He's atop the leaderboard. Brendan Steele, the pride of UC Riverside, the Hemet High Bulldog. In fact, I saw UCR tweet something out already. They're super proud of Brendan Steele, and why not? He's at 3 under par. That's 2 strokes off the lead of Kisner. Ricky Fowler, the pride of Murrieta Valley High School, he's at 1 under, so he's only 4 shots back, not too far off the top of the leaderboard. And Tiger Woods, even par. He started real strong in this opening round at the Open, but he's at even par as we go into the clubhouse and get set for the second round tomorrow. The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Ken Sporting Goods. More than 40 years in the Inland Empire. In 1976, a legend was born, and it was called Ken Sporting Goods. In fact, Jeff, last night, the city of Norco recognized and honored Ken Sporting Goods because they're so good and so awesome. What are you laughing about over there?
You put something out because you put something on Twitter last night with a Dodger meme or whatever it was.
Yeah, it's Corey Seager.
Yeah, and
when he had the good elbow before Tommy John.
And then I said that Ken's was an Angel fan.
You want the whole story behind that?
Yeah, I do.
Here's the whole story. So I was going through all they call them GIFs. I call them GIFs. Going through all the GIFs. And I was trying to find a funny one clapping. And I was about to pick Seinfeld. I was like ready to click on it. Seinfeld was like clapping. And I was like, you know what? I got to find something sports related. And I saw Kobe. And I passed on Kobe.
Oh, come on.
And then I saw Corey Seager. And I'm like, it's baseball. I'm going to pick that one. But so Ken, the original Ken, he's an Angels fan?
No, I just wanted to put that out there because you put Dodgers.
Oh, is he though?
No, I don't know. But he did like what I said though, which was I had Pujols and Mike Trout having a little interaction with each other. Yes, and I thought that
doing
was,
the whole. I think it was like the Hunger Games bow and arrow thing.
So yeah,
you know what? We should get Ken to call into the show and be like, "Are you a Dodgers fan or an Angels fan?" He'll throw like a curveball and be like, "I'm a Padres fan."
I would venture to say he's an Angels fan because there's been a lot of Angels that have lived in Norco.
Could be.
I'm telling you, man. I think he's an Angel fan.
Regardless, Ken Sporting Goods was honored by the city of Norco because they're the best, and that's why we love Ken Sporting Goods. KenSportingGoods.com for all your sporting gear needs and Letterman's jackets. When we come back on the Inland Sports Show, oh man, this first segment was running deep, but when we come back, we're gonna get the ship going in the right direction with our good friend Brian Pickering. You guys know who he is.
Oh yeah, who is
the
he?
West Region Little League guy. We're going to talk. It's coming back. We got some big names going to be out there. Brian's going to join us next on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
Focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. Just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. Come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
We're a small family-owned, strive for quality pre-owned vehicles. We're not a volume dealer, and we take every deal as personal to us. We're a low-stress environment. We're not a pressure sales house. If you want to shop us, you're more than welcome to shop us. We have, like I said, great rates, competitive financing, a lot of one-owner, clean Carfax, clean title vehicles. As you see, we have Carfax everywhere. That's most important to us, to educate our customers before they make a purchase. We're right off of Ontario, right off a couple exits off the 15 freeway, off Cajelco, off El Cerrito, and we're right on the main drag going into Dos Logos and the crossings. We have great financing, we have great lenders that we're using, we do buy, sell, trade, cash for your car, whatever we need to do to help accommodate the customer, that's what we're here for. Start at about $69.95 and go all the way up to $100,000. We have Escalades, we have commuters, we have pickup trucks, we have Jeeps, sport utilities, and if we don't have it, our specialty is finding you exactly what you're looking for.
We're back to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Corum.
All right, let's go.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM. Nobody else is doing this. We're live every single day from 3 to 6 p.m. right here on the local sports leader. The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Boost Performance Training in Corona with Coach Ray Bass. Do yourself a favor. Give them a follow on Instagram and Twitter. You will not regret it. They're doing a lot of cool things out there with some great athletes. You could be next. BoostTrainingSystems.com is the website. Check them out. You're going to love it. Right now, we go to the Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change Celebrity Hotline. This guy's running all around getting ready for the Little League West Regional, not only for baseball, but for softball as well. It's Brian Pickering. He's the Little League Assistant West Region Director. Brian, how are you today?
Good, sir. How about you?
Man, we are doing fantastic. We are ready for some Little League action. I know it's going to be pretty warm next week in the Inland Empire in San Bernardino, but that's okay. We're ready for some great first softball and then into baseball action. You know, this is a great, correct me if I'm wrong, Brian, but I always feel like this event, the tournaments for softball and baseball, the West Regionals, great way to showcase San Bernardino, the Inland Empire, so many things that we are already proud of. Do you have that same feeling?
Yes, very much so. In fact, this is one of the major events that takes place not only in San Bernardino, but here in the Inland Empire every year. This is the 48th year for the baseball tournament, West Region tournament here in San Bernardino, and the 8th year for the softball tournament. But it provides a economic boost for the Inland Empire every year.
Well, the softball tournament, that thing gets cracking on Saturday, right? We're very close to the softball tournament now.
Yes, the softball tournament will take place from July 21st through the 26th. We have 12 teams from throughout the western United States. That's why I was saying previously that this is an economic boost for the Inland Empire, because we have people from the western United States that travel out here, families, friends, etc., that watch these tournaments and stay in hotels and eat at the local restaurants and what have you. So not only do the kids on the field get to have fun, but so do the kids at heart, the older generation that come out and attend these games, and they take a vacation. It's their vacation time as well.
Hey, Brian, I think all of us have played Little League at one point or another. We all have fond memories of playing baseball, and the gals playing softball when they were younger. I think there's something associated with childhood and fond memories when you go out to, the Little League West Regional headquarters out there in San Bernardino. I think a lot of people, kind of get reminiscent, when they used to play.
You're exactly correct. That's why softball and baseball are becoming more popular every year, because the adults can reminisce about their time when they were playing, and they have fond memories, and now they're living it through their children on the field, and allowing them to experience the joy and excitement that they experienced when they were their age.
We're talking with Brian Pickering, the Little League Assistant West Region Director here. And Brian, let me ask you, before we move on to the baseball, the softball is going to be really cool because you have all of these ceremonial first pitches. And I don't want to leave anybody out, and I hate to do this, but I'm gonna single out Zoe Cassis from Aquinas High School, because not only is Aquinas High School pretty close to the Little League fields up there in northern San Bernardino, but she just won an NCAA national championship at Florida State. You guys are really connecting with local athletes, high school athletes, really making that connection. Talk about why you guys were doing this. And, getting girls like, I think Riley Plogger's another one, a local softball star. You bring them out there so the younger girls can see that, right here in the IE in San Bernardino, these girls are going on to big things.
Well, exactly, and you make a good point. Unlike baseball, where you have the minor leagues and you have Major League Baseball to aspire to, for softball, they don't really have any professional leagues outside of back east, the Florida areas and so forth. And so out here, we want the young players to see what they can do if they continue to play softball. If their talents allow them to continue playing in high school and beyond that, college, they can gain a great college education by playing softball through scholarships, and to expose them to these type of players that have also played at their age and what they're doing now in college. Hopefully that resonates with them as they're continuing to hone their softball skills for bigger and better things as they get older. But if I can also mention, if it's okay, not only are we going to have Zoe, but I'd like to mention just three other individuals. We have three ladies from the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League, the movie that was the league that was depicted in the movie A League of Their Own 26 years ago. We have three ladies. Shirley Berkovich and Maybelle Blair will be here on Sunday the 22nd at 12 o'clock. And then we have Marge Vila, who will be here on Sunday the 22nd at 4 p.m. She will actually be wearing a replica uniform from that era. Marge Vila will. And then going back to Zoe, she will be here on the 22nd at 7 o'clock. So they're all going to be here on Sunday here in San Bernardino.
Brian, just to maybe clarify for those people that aren't aware of the Little League West Regionals or the Softball West Regionals, are these Little League teams? Are they all-star teams from different areas? How do the teams get involved, and how do they qualify for the Little League West Regionals?
They are all-star teams from their respective leagues. And what happens if at the end of the regular season, a league will, through a voting process of the girls, in this case softball, their peers, managers and coaches, the board of directors, however they decide to vote on the players, they are chosen to an all-star team. And then they will continue playing other teams, other leagues in other districts, getting to state as well, playing teams from other leagues through the state process. And then if they're fortunate to come out on top at the end, then they are rewarded by coming out to the Western Region tournament here in San Bernardino. From this tournament, and again, this is 12 teams from the Western United States. One team from the Western Regional here in San Bernardino will go to play in the Little League Softball World Series in Portland, Oregon. So it's a tremendous a feat just to make it here at the regional level, and then one team from here will go to the World Series.
Yeah, and Brian, and for baseball, we should know the tournament for the baseball is August 5th through the 11th, and there's actually 2 teams that will advance to Williamsport to play in the World Series because you have the West Regional, and you have the Northwest Regional. So, and it's also, we should clarify too, Brian, all these games are free, right? You want the public to come out and watch some good baseball and softball action.
Well, exactly. All the games are free. The only thing that costs is food and souvenirs, but every game is free. The first games every morning usually begins around 9 a.m., and the last game is around 7:30. It depends on the day that the games are being played. And the best thing to do is to go onto our website. It's littleleague.org/west. And the schedules for both softball and baseball are listed on that website.
Well, this is what Brian Pickering lives for. Brian, I'm sure beginning Saturday, actually it's probably already started for you, but beginning Saturday when the games begin, your life's going to be super busy, right, for the next couple of weeks out there in San Bernardino.
Well, let's put it this way. Right now we're stuck in the office a lot, so it's going to be a blessing in disguise to be out there on the field because that's what we live for all year is to be out there. And so it'd be nice to be out of the office for a little bit.
Well, Brian, we're fired up about it. Again, you guys got the information now. It all starts on Saturday with the softball. The baseball regional for the West and Northwest will begin on August 5th. Brian, we always appreciate the time. Thank you for joining us here on the Inland Sports Show. And then we'll see you out there in San Bernardino.
Sounds good, sir. Thank you very much.
All right.
Take
Thanks,
care.
Brian. All right, so there you go. You all the lowdown on the Little League West Regionals. San Bernardino is one of those hubs. These games for baseball, they're on ESPN. Like, they're big time. They bring out the whole production crew. They bring the big time play-by-play talent.
They do. The Baseball Night in America crew goes out every year and does the championship games.
Wild.
Yeah, I hope they have a great snack bar that sells Fun Dip. And I heard,
you're gross.
I did hear this though. I heard that there's a big pin trading situation that goes on every year with amongst all the little leaguers. They bring their pins from their respective areas and they trade around for pins. Maybe it could be a great time just to go out with your family and if you don't want to watch a game, there's a lot of other activities going on around the ballpark.
I would suggest maybe the first game of the day or the one where the sun's down and the lights are on, at night.
I almost made a suggestion for him that he said they started at 7 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock in the morning.
9:30, I think, was the first
I
one.
think they should start right at the crack of dawn, like 5:30 a.m.
First break of light.
Yeah, and then take a break when it's super, super hot because it's melting out there. It's supposed to be like in the 110
I mean, Greg
plus.
Hollow wore shorts. It's so hot.
You know what they should do? Just play in the 12 a.m. all the way till sunrise.
All night long.
And then don't play in the day.
Actually, Greg Hollow, that's not a bad idea.
They do. They have lights there. What am I doing? I totally
Exactly.
forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too hot. It's supposed to be 115, 100,
Start at
118.
midnight or even like 10 o'clock at night and just play through the night until the next morning.
Jeff, what is your opinion? How hot is too hot to play softball or baseball?
Anytime you walk out and your eyes hurt. And I walk,
give me a certain
give me some degrees.
105.
105
you know what? Anytime it's above 100, it feels kind of about the same. It's just when you start getting to 118, 119, that's when life changes. That's when you go, when you
But
go
you know
outside
what?
and
Wait,
can't breathe.
think about this because we were talking about like the desert, Palm Desert, Palm Springs. Week 0 of high school football will be August 17th. They will have high school football on that Friday night out there.
And they got to practice.
They're going to be practicing in helmets and pads soon. It's going to be like 115, 118 degrees out there.
Yeah,
hydrate, boys.
Yeah, I think I would join the swim team.
If you can do it all over again.
And then, about week 1 or week 2, when it starts cooling down, then I'll go back to my football coach and go, hey, coach, I want to play football. There is no way. But for me, it would be great. I would lose weight. I'd probably have a heart attack. But, man, it's just too
You
hot.
lose lots of weight.
Lose a ton of weight. A lot of water weight.
All right, when we come back, Kawhi Leonard, he better play for the Raptors, so there's going to be a big price to pay. We got the consequences if Kawhi decides not to report to Toronto and not play for the Raptors. We'll be back at your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
How you guys doing? Coach Bass here. We're back at the BPC. Wanted to share with you guys what we're doing today in the gym. Today is all about backward movement. So if you're a football player, lacrosse player, soccer, basketball, any sport that requires backward movement, this drill's for you. Come check it out. So what the athletes are doing here, they're doing a back lateral run. So what I'm looking for here is I want their head back, all right? They're gonna hit a lateral run, they're gonna hit a quick transition. So this is a 90-degree cut. So on all of our 90-degree cuts, it's a single foot cut. And what I'm looking for is just a nice and fluid lateral run with their head looking back. They're gonna dip that inside shoulder, make a nice, crisp and clean cut. They wanna stay on a tight rope, and they wanna accelerate out of it. So for this drill here, it's very similar to the last drill that we just watched. Now we're hitting our lateral run, and we're going at a 135-degree angle. So we're taking it up a notch, we're increasing that angle. So now we're still getting that single foot cut off the inside edge of our foot, and then we want to decelerate at the cone. So again, we want to make a nice and sharp transition. We want to dip that inside shoulder, we want to decelerate. So that's our boost training tip of the day. Thanks for checking us out again. And make sure you stay up to date with everything that's Boost. Check our schedules, check our videos at our website at www.boosttrainingsystems.com. Check out our Twitter at Boost_training and our Instagram at Boost Training. Grind hard, stay solid.
Focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. Just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. Come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
first rep in the event center.
Yeah, we have a beauty mark on her forehead. A couple of subtle differences. Madison's face.
Some breaking news for the Inland Empire, especially if you're an Angels fan. One of our best friends ever, Trent Rush from AMA 30, KLAA, the home of the Angels, just tweeted out that Shohei Ohtani has been cleared to begin a throwing program. Because remember, we just said moments ago, he was being reevaluated today, and we had not heard anything. So minutes ago, Trent Rush saying Shohei Ohtani has been cleared to begin a throwing program. So could he be back on the mound before season's end? Jeff, I know we're going to get to Kawhi Leonard again in a second, but I would say if the Angels stay close enough to at least have you thinking they could make the playoffs, I say you bring him back. But if they fall farther behind Seattle and Oakland, I think you don't even try to bring him back. You rest him up. That's my personal take.
Well, they open up a series versus Houston, and, they are 14 games back at Houston. But if they could, somehow sweep Houston, get within, under at double digits, right around 9 or 10 games back, I think then you got to try to go for it. You go for about a month and a half, and if they continue to get better and better, you pitch him. If not, like you said, shut him down, get him ready, get that arm healthy, but you got to keep that bat in the lineup. I think he's too integral a part. He's a great hitter, and even if you're not going to make a push for the playoffs, you still want him to play as many games as possible, getting as many reps, bats in the rotation.
Yeah, if you're the Angels, I would say don't look at the big picture. Don't be like, oh, man, we got to win the division. Catch up to Oakland, okay? Then catch up to Seattle. If you are closing ground on Seattle and Oakland and you feel like you could be a wild card team, then maybe you try to bring him back at the end. But if you fall farther and farther behind to that wild card spot, if Oakland looks like they're way off in the distance, don't even bring him back. If he needs more time to rest, just let him rest. The last thing you want to do is jeopardize even next season, because next year the Angels are going to be good again.
Yeah, they are. They really need to shore up that pitching staff. You look at their infield, they've got one of the best offensive lineups in the game of baseball. Defensively, though, is a question mark. The pitching staff has been decimated. They've had 18 different pitchers, starting pitchers, in the rotation that have gone down with injuries. They've brought guys up that were single-A pitchers at the beginning of the year, and it has been a rough patch and a rough go for that pitching staff.
All right, so breaking news, Shohei Ohtani starting a throwing program. The Inland Sports Show brought to you by Catalano Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. Did you know at Catalano Motors you can get $500 off if you mention the Inland Sports Show? This is a real deal, because sometimes I think in my car, Jeff, when they say, oh, if you mention, Greg Holla down at the local burger joint, you get P&Gs, you get free cheese and bacon on your burger. Sometimes I'm thinking, does that actually happen? Do people actually walk through the door and say, hey, give me the Greg Holla special?
Try it.
It's a true thing. But if you actually go to Catalano Motors, I'm serious, don't feel weird or awkward. If you go onto their car lot and say, hey, the Inland Sports Show sent me, they'll be like, okay, $500 off. Now just pick whatever one you want, $500 right off the top. It's that easy. CatalanoCars.com is the website. Check it out for yourself. That's Catalano Motors off of Temescal Canyon Road in Corona. All right, let's get to Kawhi Leonard real quick, because we were talking about the the consequences, the repercussions if he does not play for the Toronto Raptors. Although we told you right off the top, it looks like he will. The Toronto Raptors and Kawhi's camp had a meeting. Pretty good feeling mutually, I guess. It was positive. They're open-minded. So we might actually see him in a Raptors jersey. But if he does not want to play for the Raptors, here's how it goes down, Jeff. And this is very bizarre in some of these things we're going to hear about. So Kawhi Leonard could be fined for every single practice and game that he misses if he chooses not to report to the Raptors. If you add up all the practices and the games, it will all add up to his entire salary for next season, which is just over $20 million. So basically, if he doesn't show up, he won't get paid. The fines will add up.
It's really an incredible stat. I mean, if you think about this, Pep, if you and I were offered $20 million and you were to ask Kawhi Leonard
to play basketball,
82 games a year, is that what NBA's 82 games, right? 82 games
regular
a year.
Season games, yeah.
If you could take a Kawhi Leonard and turn him back in time, put him at 16 years old, and you say, hey, look, you are 16 years old, but I'm going to tell you a little secret.
I'm going to look into your future.
I'm going to look into your future. Let's go 10 years into the future, and you will be making $20 million
per year.
Per year living in Toronto. Do you think that 16-year-old kid would have said no to that?
No, absolutely not.
Because, we know Kawhi Leonard's past. Kawhi didn't have a lot of money. He's gone through rough past. Lost, his father he lost while he was in high school. His father was killed. Life has not been easy for Kawhi Leonard and his family. $20 million, Pep Fernandez. And we are talking about apples and oranges, whether or not he wants to play in San Antonio. Does it really matter where you play if you are playing the game you love and you're making enough money to take care of your wife?
Oh,
you're
so much money.
Being able to take care of your kids, kids, and your kids, probably for the rest of his life and his children's life.
He might not like Toronto, but as long as you play, you're going to make $20 million.
Yeah, that's just an incredible amount of money. And I think we lose perspective as players. I think as fans, I don't think anyone realizes how much money that is. It's a ridiculous amount of money
per year.
It's a life.
This is just one season.
Hey, this is a life. If you had $20 million for 1 year, that will change your life forever.
Oh yeah,
that is like winning the lottery. And guess what? His lifestyle or his ability to play the game of basketball shortens every single year. So if he doesn't play and gives up $20 million, think about the guys that are like you and I, teachers out there, doctors, people that are working at McDonald's. They would die for that. And I think a 16-year-old Kawhi Leonard, if he could go back in time, would realize the implications of what he is doing now.
Let me bring up something real quick because we're going to continue this conversation into our next segment as we talk Lakers and Kawhi. There's an article of the collective bargaining agreement. It's basically what the players need to follow for their NBA teams. If Kawhi Leonard sits out more than 30 days, he cannot become a free agent next summer. Did you guys hear that? If he decides not to report to Toronto and it lasts more than 30 days, he will not be a free agent next summer unless the Raptors let him be a free agent.
So they would have his rights for another year.
Bingo. That's where we're going to continue the conversation because will Kawhi Leonard report to Toronto? And if he doesn't, that may jeopardize his chance of becoming a Laker if he still wants to be a Laker. This could really throw a wrench into everything. So we'll talk more Kawhi. We will talk about the Lakers' death lineup. Jeff, what's a death lineup?
That means it is the best lineup to combat the world champion Golden State Warriors.
We got the Lakers' death lineup and the latest on Kawhi. He's got to show up in Toronto on your favorite show. The Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
How you guys doing? Coach Bass here. We're back at the BPC continuing our series on building power. Today we're going to demonstrate a speed squat, and there's 3 aspects of this. There's a slow eccentric, an isometric, and a fast concentric. Now, concentric is going on the way up, and it's got to be fast and explosive as possible. So what Zach's going to do, he's going to get under the bar. All right, those thumbs around, Zach. All right, he's going to go ahead and lift off. He's gonna give me a 2-1X tempo. He's gonna go down slow, pause, then faster. Good. What I'm really looking for here is bar speed, all right? That pause, and like I said, we're working 3 different elements of strength, right? We got that slow eccentric on the way down, that pause, and then faster. This is a great drill to turn all that strength gaining into power. So like I said, this is a great drill that actually works on 3 different aspects of strength. All right, we got that slow eccentric going down, we got that isometric pause, that fast concentric going up. So while it maximizes power, we're still hitting 3 different elements of strength. We do it right here at Boost. Today's tip is all about the speed squat, and what I want to talk about is how we progress this exercise here at Boost. So we showed you guys a 2-1X tempo that was going down for 2 seconds, pause 1, and then that fast concentric coming up. So what we'll do is over time, we'll play with the tempos a little bit, and we'll go from a 2-1X to a 1-1X tempo, going down 1 second, pausing for 1 second, coming up, or we'll go with an X1X tempo with a quick eccentric, isometric contraction, and then we'll come up with the fast concentric. So a lot of different ways that we like to progress our athletes. Building strong and powerful athletes is what we do right here at Boost. Grind hard, stay solid.
We're a small family-owned, strive for quality pre-owned vehicles. We're not a volume dealer, and we take every deal as personal to us. We're a low-stress environment. We're not a pressure sales house. If you want to shop us, you're more than welcome to shop us. We have, like I said, great rates, competitive financing, a lot of one-owner, clean Carfax, clean title vehicles. As you see, we have Carfax everywhere. That's most important to us, to educate our customers before they make a purchase. We're right off of Ontario, right off a couple exits off the 15 freeway, off Cajelco, off El Cerrito, and we're right on the main drag going into Dos Logos and the Crossings. We have great financing, we have great lenders that we're using. We do buy, sell, trade, cash for your car. Whatever we need to do to help accommodate the customer, that's what we're here for. We have a little bit of everything. We start at about $69.95 and go all the way up to $100,000. We have Escalades, we have commuters, we have pickup trucks, we have Jeeps, sport utilities, and if we don't have it, our specialty is finding you exactly what you're looking for. We're a small family-owned, strive for quality pre-owned vehicles. We're not a volume dealer, and we take every deal as personal to us. We're a low-stress environment. We're not a pressure sales house. If you want to shop us, you're more than welcome to shop us. We have, like I said, great rates, competitive financing, a lot of one-owner, clean Carfax, clean title vehicles. As you see, we have Carfax everywhere. That's most important to us, to educate our customers before they make a purchase. We're right off of Ontario, right off a couple exits off the 15 freeway, off Cajelco, off El Cerrito, and we're right on the main drag going into Dos Logos and the Crossings. We have great financing, we have great lenders that we're using. We do buy, sell, trade, cash for your car, whatever we need to do to help accommodate the customer, that's what we're here for. We have a little bit of everything. We start at about $69.95 and go all the way up to $100,000. We have Escalades, we have commuters, we have pickup trucks, we have Jeeps, sport utilities, and if we don't have it, our specialty is finding you exactly what you're looking for.
More breaking news. Okay, so Shohei Ohtani cleared to throw. Big news for the Halos. We got big California League news. We love the Inland Empire 66ers. They love us right back. Huge news. They just put out their 2019 schedule for next year, which is cool. Yeah. Got to get ready, man. Hashtag sound the horn. But even bigger than that, it is sound the horn, Jeff.
Oh, I know. I just laughed because the
horn knows what I'm talking about.
The horn is so loud.
I love it.
It's so funny.
But here's the deal. San Manuel Stadium, the proud home of the Inland Empire 66ers, California League affiliate of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. The Sixers will host the 2019 California League All-Star Game. Breaking news, you heard it first right here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. The Cal League All-Star Game coming to San Bernardino.
Are you kidding me?
Hashtag sound the horn. Do we have any horns? Greg Holla, just keep going. Just sound them off, man, so the whole IE can celebrate right now.
Yeah, Linskog was telling us about that horn. Remember he said how scary he was making a call one time and
it scared him.
It scared him to death.
There it is. There's the horn.
Yeah.
We're celebrating in the streets of San Bernardino and beyond. The Cal League All-Star Game coming to the home of the Inland Empire 66ers. Congrats to IE. That'll be next season. All right, we're brought to you by Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. Spoil yourself in your car every 3,000 or 5,000 miles, just so you can feel better about yourself and your life as you're driving around the Inland Empire, knowing that you went to Spoiled and you're going to get to where you need to go. Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change off of Alessandro Boulevard, right there off the 215 freeway between Riverside and Moreno Valley. I was there on Saturday, and it was a wonderful experience. Okay. We are talking about Kawhi and what happens if he does not report to the Toronto Raptors. We talk about Kawhi all the time because he is the pride of King High School right here in the Riv. Hashtag the Riv raised me. So we were saying there's Article 11 of the NBA Collective Bargaining Agreement. Now, Article 11 might not seem like much to you, but here's what it says. If you sit out more than 30 days, you could lose your free agent status the following season. So basically what it means is if you don't show up for 30 days, the Raptors have the right to keep Kawhi's rights. They don't have to let him go and enter free agent status. So if Kawhi's thinking, I'm going to hold out, I'm not going there, I'm just going to sit out this year and play for the Lakers next year, not so fast. Because if you sit out, the Raptors will still have your rights.
Yeah, that's one thing, we've heard in the last couple weeks that there were threats that Kawhi Leonard would sit out this upcoming season.
Can you think of an NBA player that sat out a season?
No, not at all.
NFL guys do like part of the season, or they'll sit out a month or two, as a negotiating tool. But I can't think of an NBA guy who just sat out just because.
I want to say, Pep, I think it's because the NBA, you don't hear about it in baseball ever. I think you hear it in football because those contracts are not guaranteed. We're starting to see a few guaranteed contracts in the NFL.
Yes.
But until they change the collective bargaining agreement in the NFL, we're going to continue to see these holdouts. But in the NBA, there's too much money. And the rules, like we said, Article 11, are going to change the way people will perceive of sitting out. There's no way in heck, if you're Kawhi Leonard, you're going to turn your back on $20 million and not collect that money and then give up your chance to be a free agent. So I think the only way Kawhi Leonard can get out of this is play basketball and play it at a high level like he did 2 years ago.
And then there's this. Get ready for this.
There's more?
So let's say Kawhi Leonard says, let's say maybe we knew that he did not want to play for the Toronto Raptors, okay?
Okay.
And then now we know that the Raptors could hold on to his free agent rights, basically, into next summer. But what if he said, Jeff, what if he said he went to Toronto and he doesn't want to play for them and he said, you know, I wouldn't mind playing for you guys, but I'm still hurt, man. My quad, I don't know what's going on. It still needs more time to rest. If he uses that as his scapegoat, a loophole to not play for Toronto, then there's this. If the Raptors think that Kawhi Leonard is lying, and the Raptors think that he can still play, they can call a neutral physician to examine Kawhi Leonard to whether he should be playing basketball or not.
So a arbitrator.
Yeah, basically. It's not the Raptors doctor. It's not Kawhi's uncle's doctor. It's a neutral doctor comes into the situation and will rule, yeah, he's totally healthy. He should be playing. And then boom. Then obviously it's not a health issue. It's a I don't want to play issue.
Yeah, and I think you and I have talked about this a couple times. Kawhi Leonard is the first player that I can honestly recall that has sat out an entire season virtually. How many games did he play? 9? 9 games. So he played 70, or he missed 73 games of the 82.
Yeah, good math.
Yeah, for me, that's big brain there. I have never heard of a player that has missed an entire season without getting surgery.
Isn't that the root of the problem with San Antonio, that they thought he was healthy enough to play?
Yeah, their doctors okayed him to play.
Yeah, and Kawhi's camp said, no, he's not.
And what Kawhi did was, smart by his uncle or whomever is in his camp, is that he went directly to the NBA, CBA, the collective bargaining agreement.
Their headquarters, right?
And it worked out there, which is basically saying, hey, if you're an NBA team, you can't come see what I'm doing. I'm protected by the NBA. And it's a union situation. Kawhi Leonard was smart enough to take his, to work out under the umbrella of the NBA and not be seen by Toronto or anybody in the NBA. The only weird thing is what you mentioned is that the doctor that he was being seen by was a physician hired by the Philadelphia 76ers.
He was the Sixers doctor.
So it does seem a little odd.
So, I mean, it sounds like, okay, Kawhi Leonard, if he went into Toronto and said, I don't want to play for you guys, it sounds like he could force the issue and control the whole situation, but not really. If he says, I don't want to play for you, Toronto would be like, okay, we're going to fine you that in your entire salary, so you won't get paid, and we still have your rights next summer, so it's not like you can just walk away as a free agent. So really, I would say the ball is still in Toronto's court, and I honestly think, I know you think he's going to be a Laker before he's going to be a Raptor, but I honestly think they're going to play nice. They're going to get along, Kawhi and the Raptors. I think they're going to find a way to make it work because Kawhi, A, wants to get paid, and B, he still wants to be a free agent next summer.
Okay, now we have to be smart about this. Okay, if you are the Raptors, and just like in San Antonio, just like in just like in Cleveland, when LeBron James left Cleveland high and dry, you have to get something for Kawhi Leonard. So do you go almost to the trading block or to the trading deadline of the NBA? Do you play Kawhi to see how you're doing? And then if it gets to that point and you know you're not going to re-sign him, do you then go, hey, we're going to have to do a sign and trade?
I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is.
So
I know your theory is that they could an episode of Flip This House. They're going to take Kawhi and send him to the Lakers before the season even starts, and Toronto and LA will make this deal. I feel like they're going to play nice. I feel like Kawhi's going to find a way to make it work in Toronto. He's going to make all his money, that $20.1 million. He'll be a free agent next summer, and then he can go wherever he wants, likely the Lakers. But I think if he chooses not to just play for the Raptors, just straight out, no, I'm not playing for you guys, Toronto still has the ball in their court.
I agree.
He won't be a free agent. He's not going to get his money. It'll blow up in his face. So I think they're going to find a way to work it out.
Now, do you think with the trade that with the Raptors, does that make them the favorites in the East, or do you still think it's possibly the Boston Celtics?
I'm a Kawhi fan. I know sometimes you guys probably, if you're listening, hey, man, they're so negative on Kawhi. I actually like Kawhi Leonard. I'm a fan who likes defense. 3-and-D, right? Play some defense, hit some threes. He can rebound. I like Kawhi's game. And as much as I like him, though, I still say Boston is the best team in the East. They were, I know LeBron got Cleveland to the finals last year. I still feel like Boston was probably the best team in the East last year, even though they didn't make it to the finals. And now you add Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving to the mix. Man, how could you not pick Boston? Even with Kawhi in Toronto, and I know Toronto had the best record in the East last year, how do you not pick Boston?
Well, I'll tell you what, Boston is the one team I think that could possibly upseed and win the World Championship next year. I think they have a shot to beat the Golden State Warriors. Just for the simple fact is you have Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Marcus Smart coming off the bench.
They just re-signed Marcus Smart today.
That's a really good team. I think the biggest question mark when all the dust settles with Kawhi Leonard and Gordon Hayward, are they healthy? If Gordon Hayward is healthy.
And Kyrie Irving too, right?
Kyrie Irving is a great player. He's a great point guard. He might have, they said he might have a bad knee, but I think the key for that Boston Celtics team is Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward is one of those guys. He's the game changer. He's a lot like Klay Thompson, but he can put the ball on the floor. He's a playmaker. You have a great guard with Irving and Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Those guys around Gordon Hayward will make the Boston Celtics that good. But we have yet to see what Kawhi Leonard. We don't know if he's the same player he was 2 years ago. He could be a half the player he was, and that would change things because I'll tell you what, Kyle Lowry, Danny Green, that Anunoby guy, Dalen Wright, that's a pretty good lineup with Kawhi Leonard. That's a very good team, very, very defensive-minded and defensive-oriented, a lot different than they had with DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan refused to play defense. His whole thing was, I'm going to score buckets, and that's it. That's why he didn't play in the fourth quarter of those final playoff games, because he refused to play defense. And they totally took advantage of his defense, and that's why they were out so quickly.
Well, Toronto was the number one team in the East last year, but they had to do something drastic because that's as good as it was going to get for the Raptors. They fire their head coach. They get rid of their franchise player. They bring in Kawhi Leonard. I feel like right now Boston is still the best team in the East, but Toronto and Philly are probably neck and neck, I would say, for that second spot. If you ask me right now, if Kawhi Leonard is healthy, all things equal, I would say Toronto's probably number two, just slightly ahead of Philly.
And Philly, though, Philly really could have, I would imagine, had a shot at getting Kawhi because they do have some young pieces, but they would have had to get rid of Fultz. They would have had to get rid of they're not going to get rid of Ben Simmons, but they would have had to have got rid of the draft picks that they have for the next 3 years. I just think it wasn't enough for San Antonio to sit because they don't want to be in a rebuild mode. We're not sure if Popovich is going to coach beyond the Olympics in 2 years or he quits after this next year. A lot of questions in San Antonio, and they didn't want to go for a straight reboot. I think San Antonio will make the playoffs, but I think the Sixers had a shot to actually make themselves better and did not by not getting Kawhi Leonard.
All right, I'm tired of talking about Kawhi and the Raptors and the Sixers and the Celtics. I want to talk about the Lakers, man.
Yeah!
You walked in, Jeff, and you stuck your chest out, and you're like, hey, did you hear about that Lakers death lineup? Jeff, what's a death lineup? I've never heard of a Lakers death lineup. What's that?
Hey, the Lakers brass, Irvin Magic Johnson, Rob Pelinka, and Jeannie Buss feel that right now with this young core mixed in with LeBron James, they have the death lineup.
They call it the death lineup?
They called it the death lineup, and here's the lineup. And you're going to be shocked. I was shocked. They think this team that they can put on the court will combat the Golden State Warriors. They think that these guys can guard each part of that, each guy in that lineup.
Can I guess the lineup?
Oh, give it a shot. It's a shocker.
It's going to be JaVale McGee in the middle. Your two forwards would be LeBron. You know what? I'm going to go Kuzma. I'm going to go Kyle Kuzma. And your backcourt is going to be Lance Stevenson, 3-and-D. And your point, I would go Rajon Rondo because I'm an Alonzo Ball guy, so I go Rajon Rondo.
Hey, you got
that's probably the death lineup.
Well, you got 2 of those guys, right?
I got 2 of them?
You did. Well, here's the death lineup.
Okay.
Starting at your point guard, Lonzo Ball.
Oh,
yeah, Lonzo Ball.
Is this real? Did you make this up?
No, look, right here. What does that say?
Is that right,
there?
Kono?
Does that say death lineup?
The death lineup.
Lakers
yeah,
are
they will die with this lineup. Go ahead.
Eager to see their version of the death lineup. Here it is.
Okay.
At the 2-man, Josh Hart.
Okay. I like Josh Hart.
Okay. At the 3 spot, Brandon Ingram.
At the 3?
Yes.
Okay.
At the 4, Kyle Kuzma.
See, I got to get out of my traditional thinking because when I think of 4, I'm thinking like Charles Oakley.
Everybody's a stretch 4 now. They're all guards.
Okay,
all guards.
Okay.
And starting at center, not Kareem, not Wilt, not Shaq, not George Mikan, but the LeBron James playing the 5-man. I did say to you weeks in advance, if the Lakers did sign LeBron James, did I not say that they would have him play a stretch 5?
You did say that, and I thought you were crazy.
No. I mean, that's no, because LeBron James is strong enough.
Wait, who's gonna guard DeMarcus Cousins when they play Golden State
in the playoffs?
Who's gonna guard Clint Capella when they play Houston? Assuming he's back.
Yeah, LeBron James. This is the death lineup. Don't question Rob Pelinka.
Wait,
Magic
so
Johnson,
you're telling me
Buss.
the death lineup is LeBron James
at 5
and the 4 youngsters?
Yeah.
So all the guys they just signed are going to be on the bench.
Yeah.
That's the death lineup?
Yeah.
That will be death for the Lakers.
Yeah.
That will spell death.
I hate
Grim
to say
Reaper
this.
right now.
I hate to say this with that team. I don't see him making the playoffs with the death lineup. I think you got to go. I think Rajon Rondo knocks out Lonzo Ball. Let's just look at the picture. Picture all these guys standing there. You see Rajon Rondo knocking him out. I think you keep Brandon Ingram in that lineup. You keep LeBron James.
Yeah, what's your death lineup?
My death lineup of the Lakers, honestly, they have 2. If I was going to take this Laker lineup right now, there's too many forwards. There's no centers. I know everybody likes JaVale McGee. Did you see what he was wearing at the ESPYs last night?
No.
You didn't? Yeah, I don't like him anymore. He was wearing a fanny pack and he just and it looked like he was wearing a skirt. It was just weird. I think I might start Caldwell Pope maybe at a 1 guard. Rajon Rondo.
You know, that's actually not too bad. Having Rajon Rondo and Caldwell Pope.
I would bring Hart in for either the 1 or the 2 spot as the sub. And then I go Brandon Ingram, LeBron James, and I have a really hard time starting JaVale McGee. I think they need to go out and get, Lance Stevenson. He's 6'6".
What if Mo Wagner develops?
Mo Wagner can't guard anybody in the post. That's the problem that they have. If they're playing in the Western Conference teams, they can get away with it for a time. But when you go to a half-court offense in the playoffs and you have a guy, Mo Wagner, who's, he's 7 feet. He's only 240. He's not a real big guy. And I don't see him guarding post very well. I can see him guarding small forwards because really he's the small forward in a center's body. Would you agree?
Yeah,
a Dirk Nowitzki type guy?
Yes.
I think their biggest problem is they don't have anybody to match up in the post. JaVale McGee's okay, but he's a dingling. He makes too many dumb decisions. And if you have to rely on a guy like JaVale McGee, it's almost like saying, we're bringing you back, Dwight Howard.
Here's what I'm going to do, because when I first saw all the new acquisitions, I thought it was going to be the 4 new guys, including LeBron, and Kyle Kuzma. I thought that would be the Lakers starting 5. I know there's a lot of people on social media saying, no, these young guys with LeBron, that's going to be so good.
That's the death lineup.
The death lineup is not going to work. I guarantee you. Yes, you do need some experience. Jeff, I'm going to rework this Lakers lineup. Give me a day or two. I'm going to rework it because now that you've convinced me on some things, I'm not going to share everything. You've convinced me on some things. I'm going to rework the Lakers starting lineup for you.
You got a lot of players that already been there.
Rondo's already been.
But there's no bigs, guys. You got Zubac?
No, you can't.
So you can't play Zubac.
By speed, though.
They're going to stretch the floor is what they're trying to do. But the problem is when you stretch the floor, teams do have post guys. when they play Utah, they're going to have to guard Rudy Gobert, who's not a great offensive threat, but he can be if there's a 6'8" guy who weighs 240.
They'll get him the ball.
They'll get him the ball, and then there's mismatch city. Because what happens is when you throw the ball to a big post and you're playing stretch basketball, what are you going to have to do defensively? You're going to have to drop down, and you're going to have to double, which means guys are going to be wide open.
Someone's going to be open.
And if you play the Golden State Warriors, guys will be wide open.
And they're
wide
gonna hit
open.
those. They're going to hit those all day long.
They'll throw a skip pass across the court, and guys will hit jump shot after jump shot. The Lakers are in need of a post guy, and that is where I think if they don't get Kawhi Leonard, if you go Kawhi Leonard, then you can go five. You can go a small lineup with Kawhi and LeBron at power forwards with Brandon Ingram.
What would your depth squad with Kawhi Leonard? How would that look for you?
I would go Rajon Rondo at the 1. I still might go Pope or Hart at the 2. I would go Ingram at the 3. I would go LeBron at the 4 and Kawhi at the 5. But Kawhi would be more of a stretch 4, stretch 5. That's a good lineup.
Let's take Kawhi out.
That's better than the Warriors if you think about their posts.
Better than the Warriors?
Well, at the post position. You put Kawhi against Draymond Green, who's better?
Well, Kawhi is.
There you go. If you put and Andre Iguodala versus LeBron James.
Well, LeBron is.
That's their post. That's the post. But the perimeter is where they have a problem. But Rajon Rondo can guard guys. Brandon Ingram has the length to guard Thompson. But I think they would have a hard time with Curry.
All right, that's the Lakers' death lineup. We're going to rework it. We'll give you our own death lineup in the next day or two. I really got to stew about this. I'm going to go home. I'm going to lock myself in the room, turn out the lights with a pen and a pad, and I'm going to nail it. The Lakers' death lineup, the team that will compete with Golden State.
So tomorrow we'll have a death lineup from
Yeah, I guess I'll do it tonight. I'll just brew some coffee and stay up all night.
If you put JaVale McGee in it, it's not a death lineup. You should have saw him.
All right, I'll take McGee out.
Skirt. He wore a skirt last night.
Then he's out of the lineup.
Okay, thank you.
Can't do it. Well, when we come back, again, big news on Shohei Ohtani. We'll talk more about Manny Machado as well. Hey, in the Cal League All-Star Game coming to San Bernardino next year. Big news here on the Inland Sports Show. Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
I played once upon a time at Centennial High School. I was actually on the first ever CIF championship team back in 2000, and then my senior year we won it again. I'd say that's my passion because I've done it. You know, I know exactly where these athletes are at. I know what their mindset is right now. I know how hard it is to, number one, find a performance coach who can take you to the next level. What sets us apart has to be, you know, how we work with our athletes and what we know. We can take an athlete and you know, help them reach their athletic potential, you know, help them, you know, prevent injuries, help get them stronger. I know every single athlete who steps into this gym. I know exactly where they're at, and I'm going to progress them every week. If you're not getting results, then, you know, really what's it about? We're going to deliver something that's measurable, you know, in terms of speed, power, you know, strength, agility.
focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
And Jeff Corum.
Aye! Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. You know, we're proudly brought to you by good friends at Ken Sporting Goods. More than 40 years in the Inland Empire, providing you with all of your sporting gear needs. Todos los deportes. KenSportingGoods.com. You guys know the website. You also know the place because it was born in 1976 and it changed the Inland Empire forever. It's right there off the 15 freeway in Horsetown, USA. And they were honored by the city of Norco last night. I saw the pictures. I saw the award. There's a nice plaque. They are big time.
That was bigger than the ESPYs.
It was. Was the ESPYs last night?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was watching the Ken Sporting Good tweets come across my timeline.
You know, I'll be honest with you. I always go to my morning news, the TMZ.
TMZ, yeah.
And I just look at all the pictures because I do like pretty women. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I love to see what the women are gonna wear and what they're wearing, which I don't care who designed it. I just want to see what they're wearing. I like to see cleavage. So, you know, I was pretty excited about that. Last night, I got to tell you this one, guys. You guys are all animal lovers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a cat. I have a cat named Jeannie. You know, I used to have Major Nelson, Dr. Bellows. Is Sharice. Well, my cat Jeannie, who's like 15 years old. Have you guys ever had a cat that throws up hairballs?
Yes.
Okay, here's the deal. Last night,
Sharice throws up?
Does Sharice throw up hair? Okay. Yes. Well, my cat is older, and occasionally I'll wake up in the morning and I go, "Oh, what is that?" And I'm the guy that has to clean it up.
I'm that guy too.
So I'm on the couch, on my nice ottoman with my couch. I'm lounging there with my martini, and I'm sitting. My cat always sits next to me, like on the left of me, like I'm a king. And this is my kitten. And all of a sudden, he starts going.
Oh, that's the sound.
And I go, wait
do
a
that
second.
again. Wait, do that again. That's the sound.
That is the sound.
One more time.
That's exactly it.
Okay, so I go, and I have my martini in my one hand. I'm watching a really good movie in the other, and then all of a sudden I go, "Don't you do it? Don't do it on my couch. Do not do it on my couch. Don't do it on my carpet. If you're gonna do it on my hardwood floor. I can just Windex that sucker right up."
Yeah.
So she starts to vomit. I grab her. She hates me. She's probably never gonna go near me again. Don't call the SPCA. Don't call the animal rights people. I grab her by her neck, like you're supposed to with kittens.
Yes.
And I grab her and I threw her.
While
she was projectile vomiting.
Oh no, Jeff.
Yes, projectile vomiting from the cat. As I threw her, she's just picture her going through the air,
Throwing up.
Yeah, throwing up all over the place. I go, no, don't hit the walls. So instead of just letting her throw up right there, at least I kept it off the couch. There was projectile vomit everywhere, and she wouldn't come near me again for the rest of the night. I threw her, and I yelled at her. I called her a jerk, and I wanted to punch her. Like I did. I didn't want to punch her. I wanted to punt her. I wanted to kick her as far as I could because she threw up everywhere, and that was the worst. Do you have to do that, Pep?
No.
You don't. But does your cat throw up?
Yeah, sometimes.
Do I put my cat down because it's starting to throw up too much?
No.
Why not?
Cats throw up. That's what they do.
I don't want the cat.
I feed mine lunch meat.
You feed your cat lunch meat?
Yeah.
You do?
Every morning.
You do not. You give it lunch. That's what you feed your cat?
Yeah. She's 17, going strong.
Really? You've been giving her lunch meat that long?
Yeah, she doesn't really throw up at all.
So should I? But I don't want to give her wet food.
Give her lunch meat.
I don't want to give her.
She might
give her
like
bologna?
honey roasted ham. Like, you have no idea.
What's your cat's favorite go-to food?
Turkey or ham.
I knew this would go somewhere.
Turkey or ham.
Turkey or ham?
See, what happened was, because I had my dog Bear, right, for 12 years. Big dog, big husky mix.
Yeah.
Every morning he would follow me to the kitchen because I'd make sandwiches and stuff for the girls' lunches. So I'd make, sandwiches and give the lunch meat to Bear. And after a while, my cat Belle caught on, and she would sit right next to Big Bear. And I'd give a bite to Bear and a bite to Belle. A bite to Bear, a bite to Belle. So now we don't have Bear anymore, but Belle's still around, and she follows me into the kitchen every morning. And I give her lunch meat.
Maybe
she's 17 and she never throws up, and I never have to throw her in
man,
midair.
but it was touch and go where she almost threw up all over my couch.
So does she give you a dirty look, Pep, when you don't have lunch meat for her?
Yeah, because she'll scream, or she'll stand there in the kitchen, like by the refrigerator, like waiting.
Now,
or she knows the wrapper too. Like I won't see her, and I'll open like the plastic wrapper, and she'll hear the crunching and stuff, and she comes running in like.
See, my cat loves dry food, but I do want to mention something about your cat. Yep, your cat's changed names several times, hasn't it?
No.
Didn't you? Don't you call your cat different names?
Yeah.
We do.
Okay, we do.
How did this? You told me this story, and I remember when we were up in Sacramento. And we were walking on the street.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and you were like, "Yeah, my cat's name is Belle, but we call her what do you call her?"
It was like Belle, and then Bill, and then Wild Bill, and then Chill, and then Chili, and now we call her like Chunky sometimes.
See, your cat
like
is
it's metamorphosized into something else. I don't know.
I just remember you telling me that, and I'm going, wait a second, man. Who changes the name of their cat?
Like
all the time?
if I called my wife and said, "Hey, how's Wild Bill?" She'd be like, "Oh, she's good." Or if I asked my daughter, "Hey, where's Chunk? Where's Chunky?" She'd be like, "Oh yeah, she's under the bed." Like she'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But her name's Belle.
Oh, that's so weird. Belle Pep.
Can we talk baseball?
Yeah, let's talk baseball. I'm sorry,
I
but
love
I
cats.
tell you.
I'm not a real cat guy, but I love my cat.
Yeah,
so.
I do too. It's throwing up everywhere.
All right, so the big news: Shohei Ohtani will have a throwing program. So they're kind of inching him back towards the mound a little bit. So he will be throwing, and we'll see how his elbow responds. That's Shohei Ohtani of the Angels. The other big news, obviously, Manny Machado. We're going to see him in the Dodgers lineup for the first time tomorrow in Milwaukee as the Dodgers open up the second half of the season. I wanted to dig up some stats so we're a little bit more familiar with Manny Machado before we go to the second half of the season. In Baltimore, because he's a shortstop and a third baseman. And I saw several interviews with him where he considers himself a shortstop, right? Like that's his position. But when I looked it up, he's played over 700 games at third base and about 150 at shortstop. But he considers himself a shortstop. So, I don't know.
Yeah, and if you recall a couple years ago, do you remember when he was getting in scuffles like every other day? Do you guys remember this?
Was he?
No, Connor remembers. Yeah, he was like trying to fight everybody. He was a third baseman during this time. So then that's what kind of stuck in my mind is
You're like, I know that guy.
I remember him as a third
He's a
baseman.
fighter.
Yeah, he was a fighting third baseman. He wasn't a fighting shortstop. But yeah, I remember him as a third baseman.
He's a 4-time All-Star. He's won a Gold Glove twice. I'm presuming third base because that's where he's played most of his games. And he wears number 13.
Whoa! What's going to happen there, Pep?
Max Muncy wears number 13 right now for the Dodgers. I looked all over social media, online to find out because, sometimes a guy will sell his number or let's say, for example, Manny Machado would be like, hey, I'll buy you a brand new Rolex if you give me number 13 or something like that. I haven't heard anything like that, but Muncy has 13, but Manny Machado is also 13.
I think he went 8.
Did Manny Machado go number 8?
I believe they gave him 8.
He's like, maybe he's a Kobe fan. Ocho.
El Ocho. You know why he wears number 13?
No.
So
he liked Wilt Chamberlain?
No.
Oh, okay.
He was a big A-Rod fan, and A-Rod has always been number 3. And even though he was a big A-Rod fan, they're both from Miami, both played short, he was always stuck. He said he was always stuck with the number 10 growing up. So he took 10, and he took A-Rod, and he put it together. 10 plus 3 is 13.
He is.
So that's why he wears 13.
He is wearing number 8.
He's wearing 8. Is there a significance behind that?
He loves Kobe Bean Bryant.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. He says, I love him.
Are they already selling it?
Already.
They're already selling the Machado jerseys.
He said,
Holy smokes.
I think he quoted as saying, I love Kobe Bryant more than life itself.
Is that what he said?
And he's going to go with Ocho.
Where's Maury Povich? And that's a lie. That's awesome. He's number 8. So there will not be a scuffle between Max Muncy. But if you don't know Manny Machado, awesome guy. 4-time All-Star, 2-time Gold Glover, played a lot of third base, a little bit of shortstop. We're going to see him at short for the Dodgers, although I think he's willing to be flexible to play a little bit of spot third here and there.
Apparently, this is happened July 18th. What is that? Yesterday?
July 18th.
Yesterday?
Yes.
Yesterday, L.A. Dodger closer Kenley Jansen has already volunteered to pay teammate Max Muncy a nice tip for giving up his number 13 jersey to new teammate Manny Machado. He deserves it, Jansen says. But apparently,
we just saw the MLB store. They're already selling the Machado number 8.
Yeah, this was yesterday.
They didn't even wait. They just got it on the shelves.
I agree. Max Muncy shouldn't have to give up his jersey.
He's Max Muncy.
He's had the best.
He's the best.
The best year of his life, and he's going to give up his number to a guy that's going to be there 2.5 months.
Never.
I would give him the big hello. You're number 1.
Well, okay, so they're saying he's going to be number 8, but we'll see for sure when he actually rolls out on the field for the first time tomorrow in Milwaukee. When we come back on this show, it's our pledge to you to talk high school football every single day, i.e. football. We love it. We're going to talk about high school football playoff streaks and win streaks right here in the IE. So we've got some big-time programs right here in the Inland Empire. Can they keep the streaks going this upcoming season? We'll talk high school football when we come back on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
You're naughty. And then I take my naughty pet and I go.
How you guys doing? Coach Bass here. We're back at the BPC continuing our training series on developing power for off-season football players. So today we're going to work on a dumbbell alternating bench press, and it's all going to be about power. So Ian, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and lie back on the bench. I love programming this drill here for linemen, really for all athletes, but especially for linemen, D-linemen, because, you know, they're always grappling, they're always striking. You want to be nice and strong and powerful. So what he's going to do, he's going to alternate. He's going to go down 2 seconds. He's going to pause 1. He's going to go up 1. Let's hit it. Good, going really fast on the way up. So again, working on 3 different aspects of strength here. We got that slow eccentric coming down, right? We got that isometric pause there, and then we got that fast contraction coming up, that fast concentric. So like I said, we're working on 3 different aspects of strength. This is a great drill to maximize power, and we do it right here at Boost. Grind hard, stay solid. How you guys doing? Coach Bass here. I want to talk a little bit about today's training tip. We showed you guys the dumbbell alternating speed press, all right, and we talked about was a 2-1-X tempo. I want to show you guys how we progress this exercise and continue to maximize power. So with that 2-1-X tempo, we go down 2 seconds, we pause for 1, and we go up fast. So what we'll do is over time, we'll progress those tempos. So we'll go from a 2-1-X to a 1-1-X tempo. We go down 1 second, pause for 1, and we get that fast concentric contraction. And then finally we'll go to an X1-X tempo where we go down fast to isometric pause and then fast up. So really what we're doing is we're just developing speed, developing power through different muscle contractions. That's how we progress our drills right here at Boost.
Focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. Just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. Come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Baseball team, proud affiliate of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Thanks for listening to Fox Sports, home of the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes.
We are Fox Sports! 26 years ago, we started playing a little game. And now, we're all gonna sit down and we're gonna finish it. And guess what? It's your turn.
We're back to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
I've never seen a diamond in the flesh.
Hey, did you guys see that crazy video of George Clooney?
I was just going to bring that up. Yes,
Because Colin Cowherd was talking about it the other day.
You haven't seen it?
No.
He looks like a rag doll flying through the air.
That's the Clune dog, man.
In Clooney, we trust, man. I'll tell you what, Clooney was walking after that. And I'll tell you.
Was he?
Yes, he's walking around.
That guy got problems. That's all I'm going to say.
He was driving, his biggest problem is he's driving a Vespa 60 miles an hour, and he went head first into a car.
Yeah, don't
drive
a Vespa.
Oh, my God, yeah, a Vespa. But he flew. It was crazy. I've never seen a stunt like it. It wasn't a stunt, though. He's just doing it for fun, I guess. But, wow, Clooney flew like 60 feet.
Crazy.
And he was like 13 feet in the air. He looked like Superman.
Craziness. The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Catalano Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. I hope you guys go check them out. They got the best deals in the IE. You're already going to save thousands of dollars. They have weekly specials. And when you mention the Inland Sports Show, you get $500 off. All you have to do, this is a real thing, all you have to do is go to their office, go to the car lot, say, the Inland Sports Show sent me. They say, okay, $500 off whatever price, all right? It's that easy. We're putting money back in your pocket. We want to help you guys out. That's why we've teamed up with great local businesses like Catalano Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road, CatalanoCars.com. What's wrong with you guys?
I'm sorry.
You guys get it together?
Kono shows me stuff during the show that I cannot stop laughing. Anybody that's at home right now or driving, just seriously, I want you to think in your head, when you go home, you got to look this up. Turn that around and show Pep.
Is it a goat?
No, there is a giant, no joke, a giant statue in London underneath the bridge of London Bridge.
Okay.
No joke, of Jeff Goldblum shirtless.
Jeff Goldblum?
Yes.
Why?
No, I don't know, but he just showed that to me. I almost started crying. It's a giant
the Jurassic
statue.
Park guy?
Yes,
he was the guy in Thor Ragnarok.
Independence Day?
No,
Independence Day.
Yes, he's posing as the character he was in Jurassic Park with his shirt wide open. It's the funniest thing.
What is wrong with the English, man?
It looks like it's like 20 feet tall. So if you're driving or you're at home, please go look at the Jeff Goldblum London statue. It's just about the funniest thing I've seen in a long time. I'm sorry. Okay.
What is it made out of? Does it say?
I don't know, but I can't take my eyes off it.
It's so wrong.
Good thing you're not driving, guy.
Oh my God, that's the best, guys. Look it up. Sorry.
Eesh.
Okay, let's go high school football.
Let's go.
Yes.
And the perfect segue goes to Jeff Gorham.
Oh, it marks the film's 25th anniversary. They put a 25-foot statue depicting the actor reclining pose he made famous in Jurassic Park. Okay, there we go.
Do you think you played high school football?
No, I don't.
Does he got a hairy chest?
Not with a chest like that.
Does he got a hairy chest?
No, can you search that? Did Jeff Goldblum play high school football? It's probably on his Wikipedia or something.
He's a creepy guy.
I don't think he did. He's kind of a nerdy, weird, awkward guy.
God, that's the...
No,
Don't
he's
be
funny.
smart.
Like, even Thor Ragnarok, he was that.
Do you remember
guy.
he was the Fly? Remember he was Seth Brundle.
Oh yeah, the Fly.
Seth Brundle Fly. Do you remember that?
Right. He turned into a fly. That's right.
And he would like regurgitate and suck up his food. It was horrible. That's one of my favorite movies ever.
I saw that as a kid and I had nightmares.
Traumatized.
Yes.
That's a harsh movie to watch. That still is a harsh. Seth Brundle Fly.
When Gina Davis was delivering.
Oh yeah, that's a bad movie. Scary movie. Did you ever see it?
I'm trying to remember. I have images. I have parts of it. So
Hey,
maybe,
you know what?
maybe I saw parts of it.
You have daughters. Why don't you go home and show them the Fly tonight?
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
They will never sleep again.
Pep, don't do that.
No,
Yeah, you know
they see
what?
a mosquito flying around a light and they all freak out.
Huh?
So no.
Oh no, they need to go watch The Fly.
Oh, no.
And then they had The Fly 2. It wasn't as good, but Fly 1 was good.
The original.
Seth Brundle, his name was. Okay, come on. I'm sorry. Let's
Maybe
talk
maybe they'll build another statue
Hey, let's
for him
go-
in London.
Hey, let's go to high school football.
High school football. All right, high school football. Because we love high school football. It's our pledge to the Inland Empire because we love the IE. The IE loves us back. So we're talking high school football every single day on this show. Jeff, we're talking about playoff streaks. Right to your right, we proudly have a Norco High School football jersey. They came in studio last year. They presented the Inland Sports Show, the jersey, the number 31. The number 31 represents how many years in a row that Norco High School has made it to the playoffs. It's an Inland Empire record. It's 31 years in a row. If I was a betting man, I'd say it's going to be 32 years in a row after this season. They hold the record. It's a current playoff streak of 31 straight years. Now, after that, and I included some schools that are on the fringes. You know, I had some people tweeting me like, oh, you guys should cover the Palm Springs, like Palm Desert schools more.
I saw that, and you know what? No offense, but
I'm going out there next week because the guy asked me to.
Oh, shut up.
I am. I'm going out there. I'm going to cover those schools. I'm going to cover them real hard.
Yeah, I saw that tweet. Hey, you know what, guy? You know, I really we're going to give you some love, but yeah, we're not going to go out there. Too hot.
I'm going out there next week.
Right,
when it's 119. I'm picking that day to go out there. No, seriously, I'm going. Okay, so La Quinta.
Shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
La Quinta, 22 straight years in the playoffs.
Well, yeah, because if you go play there, everybody goes down with heat stroke. There's only 6 guys. They have to forfeit games, so that's why they've been in the playoffs 22 years straight.
Is that why?
Yeah, that's exactly why.
Okay, so we have Norco at 31 years in a row through the playoffs. La Quinta at 22 years in a row. Checking in at number 20, and there's no end in sight on this one, Centennial. 20 years in a row, the Huskies have made it to the playoffs. After them, at 18 years in a row in the playoffs, we got Palm Springs.
Yeah, another one out there.
And I threw in Silverado for all our high desert folks. We're very big in the high desert. I threw them a bone.
Dude, you really worked really hard. You worked really hard on this list. I might have bypassed those guys.
I went real deep. 17 years in a row, it's our good friend Billy Cardosi and those Cats at Kaiser High School. 17 years in a row. That's saying something.
That's a lot of pressure on Billy Cardosi.
Don't screw it up.
Billy, don't lose, buddy. Don't be the guy to break that record.
No pressure. No pressure. 16 years in a row, and no pressure on our good friend Rich Lunsford at Redlands East Valley. 16 years in a row for the Wildcats. And they're in a brand new era with the new head coach. As Kurt Bruick now is at Citrus Valley. We just had him on the show last week. I'm going to run through a couple of these real quick because now it kind of tails off after that. 13 years in a row. We got Vista Marietta. We got Colony at 12 years in a row. Citrus Hill and Rancho Verde. The Val Verde rivals, Jeff. They both have done it a dozen years in a row. Upland, 11 years in a row. The Kook and Summit, 10 years in a row. Heritage, Norta Vista, Oak Hills, 9 years in a row, San G, 8 years in a row, and then it tails off after there. But Norco, the leader of the pack, 31 years in a row. Centennial's at 20 years in a row, and you got to think there's no end in sight for Centennial. This playoff streak's just going to keep going on and on and on as long as Matt Logan's around, right?
I hope so. 20 though, he's got a lot of catching up to do to Norco though. 31 years is incredible.
It is. It's an Inland Empire record. Like the sun rising in the east, you can almost pencil the Cougars into the playoffs. We proudly have their jersey right here in the Inland Sports Studio, the number 31. A huge shout out to Coach Chastain and the Norco Cougars for coming on the show last year to put this in the studio.
Dog bite.
We'll have them again soon, and we've talked about this, Jeff. This Norco team could be a Division II champion this year. They're really good. They're loaded, and they're going to make a run at that CIF Southern Section Division II title.
Yeah, there's some questions. You know, there's a quarterback controversy definitely brewing out there. Nick Lasher, one of the best players, was all CIF last year. There are rumors that he might go to the defensive side of the ball, even though he's getting offers to play college as a quarterback.
Yeah, he was great last year as the QB. All right, tomorrow, more high school football. We'll talk about league winning streaks as we go from playoff winning streaks. The Inland Sports Show brought to you by Boost Performance Training in Corona with Coach Ray Bass, boosttrainingsystems.com. When we come back here on the Inland Sports Show, we'll talk about NFL training camp. We'll be back at your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
Inland Empire sports fans turn to the Inland Sports Show.
So you talk to the radio?
We're back to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Corum.
So I searched Jeff Goldblum, the famous actor, in high school football to see what would come up. I couldn't find anything because it just got lost in all of these pictures of his shirtless statue, whatever.
There is nothing better.
So his mom was too, wasn't it?
There's nothing better than Jeff Goldblum. Nothing.
Is that what he looks like?
No, I'm doing Jerry Jones. We were just talking Jerry Jones during the break.
Oh, let me punch up your shot then.
So this is me as Jerry Jones. This is what I look like. I have the biggest franchise in the world, and I have the worst face you could ever imagine.
Keep doing that. Keep your hands there. I'm going to do a screenshot real
There
quick.
you go.
As we're live
Jerry Jones. Do I look like Jerry Jones?
You look exactly like him.
You look like you're getting Botox.
I'm going to put that on Twitter for everybody.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
I am Jerry Jones. That was my impression just for you guys on the break.
The Inland Sports Show is proudly brought to you by Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change every 3 or 5,000 miles. You guys know what to do. You got to get your oil changed. In fact, you're probably overdue right now thinking, man, I need to get my oil changed. You can go to Spoiled right there off the 215 freeway. Get off on Alessandro. It's right there near the freeway, so they make it quick and easy. We love you, Spoiled. Quick quality oil change. All right, we're talking NFL training camps. Did you guys know there's already a team or two on the field? Training camp has begun in the NFL.
Wow.
Who? The Ravens. Do you have the list? I was going to quiz Kono over here, but I think he saw the list.
He's a cheater. No, I didn't get it. Yeah, whatever.
The Ravens and the Bears.
The Bears. What do they have in Chicago?
Oh, they got Kylie Fitz. He's from Redlands, East Valley. Lots of peppers. Sausages. Lots of brats.
Okay, so why are they going so early, Pep?
Well, because they have the Hall of Fame game.
No, that's the dumbest thing in the world. Remember, they canceled the Hall of Fame game last year. Do you remember that?
Was it the turf? It was the turf, right? It was
the bad turf.
Unplayable. Too
hard.
Yeah,
and everybody showed up, and it was just it was nonsense. They were painting funky stuff, and they were like, oh, the paint's going to come off on us, and the turf was all jacked up. Yeah, just dumb. Don't even play that dumb game, but go ahead.
Well, it's the first game of the year. It's going to be Thursday, August 2nd, so it's actually right around the corner now. So the Ravens will be taking on the Bears in the Hall of Fame game. So the Ravens, huh?
That's 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's right
from
around
today.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, 2 weeks from
today.
They
barely report to training camp, and then boom, we got the Hall of Fame game. So the Ravens reported yesterday. Their first on-field action will be today. The Bears report today, although they won't have like their first official practice until tomorrow. So NFL training camps as of today are officially here. And if you're a local football fan, we're talking about the Rams, the Chargers, the 49ers, and we would never leave out the Raiders, man. So the Rams, July 23rd, the rookies will report, and then 2 days later, the whole team, the veterans, the whole gang will be there. The Chargers, everybody gets together on July 27th. Whether you're a rookie, a veteran, the whole gang gets together.
I'm going to be there during their training camp. I'm going to go down to Costa Mesa, and I'm going to watch it. I will be.
I don't think you are.
I will be at the Chargers training camp during one of those days. I think I'm going to take Connor down there.
Are you?
I think so.
Get your press passes.
I think we're going to do it. So I'll be there. So if you send me, Pep, I will go.
July 27th is when the party gets started if you're a Lightning Bolts fan. For the 49ers, everybody gets together on July 25th up there in Santa Clara. And the Raider Nation, the silver and black. A lot of pride running deep throughout the IE and Colton for the Raiders because they got Sharice Wright. I'm not talking about Sharice the cat, Greg Hollis' cat. I'm talking about the real Sharice Wright from Colton High School, the newest member of the Oakland Raiders. They practice up there in Napa. Napa's like above the bay. It's like North Bay. It's like going to Sonoma. It's nice and cool.
That's like Rich Jeff area. That's
super Rich Jeff area.
That is where Rich Jeff hangs out on his free time. He likes to take a plane up there, his private jet. And but hey, you also forgot another team, Pep.
I didn't forget anybody.
Yes, you did. There's America's team.
The 49ers?
No.
Hold on, let me. Steelers.
No.
The Cowboys.
Yes, those guys. They practice up at Cal Lutheran every single year is their training camp.
No, they're in Oxnard.
No, they're at Cal Lutheran.
The Cowboys are in Oxnard.
They're at Cal Lutheran College there, Pep. I'll bet you. Yeah, look it up. Look
Wait,
it up, Cono.
Cal Lou is in what, Thousand Oaks?
That's in Thousand Oaks. That's where they practice every year. I'm telling you.
They're
I've
in
seen
Oxnard.
They're not. They're in.
They are not going to go to the home of the Rams.
I'm telling you. Is that where the Rams are? They're at Cal Lou.
That's their headquarters.
Well, the Cowboys used to always be at Cal Lutheran. Every year they were there.
No, they're always in Oxnard.
I'll bet you $1,000. I bet you $1,000. Well, they might be there now.
Googling
but
that?
when I was a kid, when I was a kid, I used to go to Thousand Oaks every year for basketball camp, and the Cowboys would be there while I was at camp. I used to rub elbows with Tom Landry when I was a little kid. Yeah, I did. No joke. I ate shark up there one time with the Cowboys. I ate a Thresher shark with the team, and they ate in the same place we did.
Okay, yes. So the Cowboys are definitely in Oxnard.
They're in Oxnard, but they used to be at Cal Lutheran. Look it up right now.
It's been a while.
Yes, but when I was a kid, they were there every year. I'm telling you, I went every year in the Dallas Cowboys.
But that was, what, like 30 years ago?
Don't discuss
I wasn't
that
even born yet.
No, stop it. You're barely younger than me.
I wasn't even around. I wasn't born yet.
Yes, they always used to be at Thousand Oaks.
Old, though. Everything that says old Cowboys.
But yeah, I understand that. But I'm telling you as a kid. I'm telling you as a kid. I used to see Tony Dorsett. I used to see all of them. Tom Landry and I. He had the hairiest arms of any man I ever saw, and I had Thresher shark because he ate shark. I was like, that's Tom Landry. I ate shark because he ate shark. It was the worst thing I ever ate in a dorm. But yes, I'm telling you.
That was a long time ago. That's like saying, hey, the Rams are in St. Louis. No, Jeff, they're not. They're in L.A. Well, they used to be in St. Louis.
Well, they used to be in Cal Lutheran. Hey, they used to be at Cal Lutheran every year. I'm sorry that I screwed up. So the Rams are at Cal Lu now? The Rams are at Cal?
No, the Rams.
You're blowing my mind here.
Yeah, are still Cal Lu because they had. Remember, I think as of last year they still had them at UC Irvine, although their headquarters are in Thousand Oaks.
So they're at Cal Lu now.
Yeah, like their mini camps and all that.
Hey,
yeah.
You know what? I'm allowed to make a mistake, but I was not wrong because they were there when I was a kid. Ed Too Tall Jones was there when I was there. Do you remember Ed Too Tall Jones?
No, I don't know the old Cowboys.
I did not know who Ed Too Tall Jones is. Ed Too Tall Jones is in the Hall of Fame, and he also became a boxer afterwards. He was Ed. He was very tall. He was too tall, apparently.
He was too tall.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry I messed up there, but they used to be there every year.
That'd be like saying, hey, you know what? You know who's going to win the NBA title next year? I think I really like the Seattle Sonics. Hey, they're in Oklahoma now. They used to be in Seattle.
Just knock it off. Just knock it off.
The Expos.
Hey, they're gonna bring. There's talk. They're gonna. Major League Baseball is gonna expand, and they're talking about Portland as a spot, and they're talking NBA is gonna get. Hey, you know what?
You know what? Before the Jeff,
NBA
you know
is
what?
gonna get the Seattle SuperSonics back.
Let me get your back because later in the show we will talk Major League Baseball expansion before we hit 6 o'clock. And they are mentioning Montreal.
I told you. And Portland.
Jeff's right about
and
it.
Portland, right?
In Portland,
Is
yeah,
Portland,
that's another city.
Yeah, Portland Pilots. That's what they're going to be. Hey, you guys are jerks. You guys are real jerks. Because I used to hang out with. Did you ever hang out with Tom Landry? Did you hang out with Ed Too Tall Jones?
No.
Did you ever look Tommy Dorsett in the eyes?
No.
I did. Yeah, a couple of them are. Tony D is.
It was almost like that scene from Road Trip. I've been coming here for 20 years. We only been open for 5 years, sir.
Hey, you know what? You guys, we stayed in the same dorms as the Cowboys. We used to see those guys walking around. Yeah, it was cool. If my dad was here, he would.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If my dad was here, if my dad was here, he would tell you guys that you're all wrong. You know, I'm gonna call. You know what? Dad, if you're listening, Dad, these guys are being jerks. Tell them. I want you to come in.
Come tell them.
I'm bringing my dad in, and he's going to tell you guys that we used to eat lunch with the Cowboys, and I used to sit right in the middle of all those guys because I had no fear at all. Just stop it. That's mean. Dad, come save me. All right. Okay, go ahead. Keep talking.
One other quick football note before we wrap this thing up.
You guys are jerks. Straight jerks. All right, go ahead.
From the world of college football, Jeff. So there was a big news made that Clemson has given a new contract to their, I think is the defensive coordinator. The deal is worth $11.6 million. The guy's name is Brent Venables.
Oh yeah, that guy
at Clemson. I only bring it up because they said, hey, it's the biggest contract for an assistant college football coach in history, $11.6 million. But I'm bringing it back to the Inland Empire because the IE always wins. LSU's defensive coordinator is a guy named Dave Aranda. He graduated from Redlands High School. He started his high school coaching career at Redlands High School. In fact, I think he coached at Cal Lu, too, probably when the Cowboys were there.
He's such a jerk. There you go.
And when the Cowboys were there a long time ago. Old Cowboys. But Dave Aranda, the pride of Redlands High School at LSU, he signed last year a $10 million deal over 4 years. So if you do the math, he makes $2.5 million a year. That is still more than the new guy, Brent Venables, at Clemson. So Clemson's like, oh, yeah, it's the biggest contract for an assistant coach. Wait, hold on. Money per year? The IE still wins. Dave Aranda at LSU, the DC, still makes more money. So we win again.
But they're kind of goofy. I mean, Clemson's good, but LSU, I mean, why? It just seems like assistant coaches would be making a lot more than $2.5 million. I know a couple
more. That sounds like a lot, doesn't it?
No, not
for a DC or an offense, an OC, an offensive.
I don't know. I look at basketball numbers, and I have a couple friends, and we know this. A couple friends of mine that are assistant coaches that I think might make close to that are at big time programs. But $2.5 million, that's a lot of money to just kind of coach.
A lot of money.
A lot of dough, big dough. What is the head coach making?
Probably what? 7, 8, 9 million a year.
Holy cow!
10 million a year.
We're in the wrong business, Pep. We should have been coaching.
I never had a chance. You had a chance.
No, I didn't. I would have been fired. I say too many. I say too many stupid things. That's
like the cow. No. Okay. When we come back on the Inland Sports Show, maybe Jeff's dad will call in and defend him.
He's got a.
These guys are being mean.
He has a rotary phone. I don't even know if he can call in. We'll give it a shot, though.
We'll talk more Kawhi. We'll talk more basketball and Major League Baseball on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
How you guys doing? Coach Bass here. We're back at the BPC continuing our training series on developing power for off-season football players. So today we're going to work on a dumbbell alternating bench press, and it's all going to be about power. So Ian, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and lie back on the bench. I love programming this drill here for linemen, really for all athletes, but especially for linemen, D-linemen, because they're always grappling, they're always striking. You want to be nice and strong and powerful. So what he's going to do, he's going to alternate. He's going to go down 2 seconds. He's going to pause 1. He's going to go up 1. Let's hit it. Good. Going really fast on the way up. So again, working on 3 different aspects of strength here. We got that slow eccentric coming down, right? We got that isometric pause there, and then we got that fast contraction coming up, that fast concentric. So Like I said, we're working on 3 different aspects of strength. This is a great drill to maximize power, and we do it right here at Boost. Grind hard, stay solid. How you guys doing? Coach Bass here. I want to talk a little bit about today's training tip. We showed you guys the dumbbell alternating speed press. All right, and we talked about was a 2-1x tempo. I want to show you guys how we progress this exercise and continue to maximize power. So with that 2-1x tempo, we go down 2 seconds, we pause for 1, and we go up fast. So what we'll do is over time, we'll progress those tempos. So we'll go from a 2-1x to a 1-1x tempo. We go down 1 second, pause for 1, and we get that fast concentric contraction. And then finally we'll go to an X1X tempo where we go down fast to isometric pause and then fast up. So really what we're doing is we're just developing speed, developing power through different muscle contractions. That's how we progress our drills right here at Boost.
Hernandez and Jeff Corum.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. First off, I would like to issue an apology to Jeff Corum.
Really?
Yeah, I need to apologize to you.
Stop. I know where this is going.
Because,
hey, thanks,
because Jeff said, he's like, no, the Cowboys are at Kowloon. I'm like, no, they're in Oxnard. He's like, well, they were just there. He's right. They were just there. It was 1989, the last time they were there. So that was almost 30 years ago.
Hey,
they were just there, though.
Didn't I say I was a little kid, though? And I mean, it's not like I just thought they just never moved. I thought it was just part of the, the fabric of the Cowboys as they go to Kowloon every year. But when I was a kid, I used to rub elbows, man, with the hairiest arms ever. Tom Landry, Tony Dorsett, Ed Too Tall Jones. Yeah.
They were just there. It seems like just yesterday they were at Kowloon for training camp.
Whatever.
They've been off and on at Oxnard.
I met Roger Staubach there as a kid. Do you even know who Roger Staubach is?
Sure do.
Who is he?
Quarterback for the Cowboys.
I met him when I was a kid.
About 30 years ago.
I met Danny White. I met a lot of guys there. I have autographs somewhere.
Did you meet Troy Aikman?
No, he was
Emmitt Smith. That was way after.
Troy
That was way
age. Mike Irvin. Unless he was 12 and going to basketball
camp. Wasn't that far after, but yeah.
Oh, man, whatever. Hey, seriously, Pep, next time you come to my house, because you've been to the Stately Gorham Manor, and I did tell you that I have a man cave with kind of a Hall of Fame in there. There's a lot of there's pictures of me. There's pictures of me and some of the Cowboys when I was a kid.
Sure.
You know what? Whatever. You guys are just jerks. I might quit right now. I might walk out of here. I might.
Straight to Oxnard.
I might go to Oxnard. No, Kowloon. That's closer. Thousand Oaks. A little closer than Oxnard.
The Inland Sports Show is proudly brought to you by Kin Sporting Goods. They just won a huge award from the city of Norco last night. We're so proud of Kin Sporting Goods. Proud to be a partner of theirs as well. KinSportingGoods.com is the website. Check it out for yourself. So if you've got a large order for your entire team, they can do that. Maybe you've got a company or a business, you all want matching shirts or sweaters or hats. They can do that too. All your sporting gear, they do embroidery, Letterman's jackets. They can hook it all the way up. That's Kin Sporting Goods off the 15 freeway in Norco. All right, so the big news today. We've had some major headlines today. Brendan Steele, 2 shots off the lead at the British Open. He's the pride of UC Riverside, the pride of him in high school. So Brendan Steele in the mix after 1 round at the British Open. Shohei Ohtani, the other big news, Jeff.
The plasma, what is it? The plasma-rich injections?
Yeah, whatever those
Guess what
things
it's
are
doing? It's fixing Shohei Ohtani, my friend.
They said it's healing. It's healing on its own, but how much time do you give it? He's now in a throwing program, so we'll see how far he comes along, and will we see him back on the bump before the end of the year? We might.
Do you know where he was yesterday? Do you know where Shohei was?
The doctors?
No.
Sea fishing.
Nope.
At the coffee house.
Nope.
Kowloon.
Nope.
Nope.
He was enjoying himself and signing autographs for everybody that asked at Universal Studios. I guess he must be a big Harry Potter fan.
Was he just there, like, hanging out? Like,
walking around by himself.
By himself?
Well, it's probably his interpreter was with him, but he was walking around by himself, signing autographs, had a backpack on, looked very unassuming, but unless you're a super fan like I am, you probably wouldn't have known.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was walking around Universal Studios.
Is Shohei Ohtani on social media?
I don't know.
Like, is he on Instagram or
Come
Twitter
on,
or anything?
come on there.
Because I just thought, I don't think I follow him. So if he is, I don't think I follow him.
Shohei, he did look good, though. Looked really happy.
And the other big news, the Inland Empire 66ers will host the California League All-Star Game next summer, June 18th to be exact.
I can't wait.
Very exciting.
You know what? I might buy tickets now, right now.
Might sell out.
Yep.
Might want to hurry and do it.
Shohei, is he on social media there?
Nothing's coming up.
No, he's too cool.
Because, some guys might be like, hey, guys, look for me at Universal Studios. Haha,
You're on social media. It popped up as soon as I might give up social media because I got in fights. I hate getting in fights.
On social media?
Yeah, everybody's a bunch of coaches. Yeah, I had a Twitter beef, and I muted somebody.
You did?
Yeah. Remember, we were talking about that last week. I didn't know how to mute.
Yeah, because our guy Vinny Fazio is muted like everybody.
He mutes me. That's okay. I understand. But he goes, there's the 3 dots up in the right-hand corner. So I pressed it, and I muted this guy because he was harassing me.
He was harassing you?
I don't like being harassed. I'm famous, and I don't like being harassed.
As long as you didn't go on social media and say, can't wait to see the Cowboys at Kowloon. I'm like,
no.
What else can you argue about? I mean, there's nothing else to argue about.
Oh, no. I was very, very heady and angry last night. I was angry.
Jeff, I think you have a friend here.
I don't have any friends.
You don't have any friends? No. We've got friends in the studio.
I have friends in low places.
It's unbelievable.
I have friends in low places. I have friends in high places. Right now, I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to introduce him, but he is a senator.
He is?
He is a senator.
A dignitary?
Oh, yeah, he's a dignitary. He doesn't want me to say his name, but he is a senator. We're going to go out after the show. We're going to talk about some local politics, and we're going to get this place squared away. He is. Look at him. Is he not senatorial?
Yeah, he's a senator.
He is a senator. There he is.
Hey, we were talking about the fact the other day, Jeff, that regardless of the time of year, we talk NBA and NFL all the time. I mean, those are two constants in Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks, NFL, and NBA. We talk about those all the time, all year round, 365 days. And I think it's by design, don't you? It's not an accident that the NFL and NBA are so savvy that they have drafts and summer leagues and combines and this and that. They are in the news. The headlines are always circulating around the NFL and the NBA. It's just the way it is.
Well, I think the NFL really has taken this on, and I think the NBA has kind of piggybacked on the success of the NFL. The NFL right now in American culture is probably the number one sport. I wouldn't say for, guys that are super fans of their favorite teams. A lot of it has to do with the fantasy football. Fantasy football is huge. Gambling on football is huge. But when you can incorporate the draft, the combine, it seems like we're talking about, like you said, every single day there is a mock draft, and we've already started next year's mock draft. The NBA has kind of done the same thing. I think for the first time, we've seen all 30 teams were in the NBA Summer League down in Las Vegas. And if you watch, every one of those games was broadcasted on regular, on cable, on ESPN.
Yeah, they were on cable. You go to any of the big sports websites, and one of the headlines was always, hey, Lakers win at the Summer League. Lakers going to the finals of the Summer League. Like, they were building up the Summer League. It was a big deal.
And I really think this is good for both sports. I think where the Major League Baseball lacks is that, and a lot of people won't like this. I'm a traditionalist myself, but I think if you cut the Major League Baseball season by 30 games, that would give them a chance to kind of regroup. Football seasons kind of get this. Remember, at the end of baseball season, football is in high gear. Football is king. You cut that short, you get more people watching the World Series. World Series ratings have tanked the last 10 years because I think the season is just too darn long. The problem is you'd have to pay those guys the same salaries they're getting, their guaranteed contracts. But I think Major League Baseball has gotten lost in the mix. Other than the West Regional and the Little League World Series, there aren't sandlot games. But in football, there's always camps.
Well, think about it. The NFL has the perfect cycle. The Super Bowl's now in February.
Perfect.
You've got all the college pro days. You've got the NFL Combine, which is now a made-for-TV event. You go right into the draft. Then you've got rookie mini camp. Then you got real mini camps. And now we're in July, and we're going to real training camp with the Hall of Fame game just weeks away. Like, it's constant. It never stops. The NBA, I was thinking the NBA, the only slow month of the NBA is probably the month we're going into.
Right now.
August. Like, it's probably the slowest time. September's training camps.
But look where the NBA starts. It's the same time as when baseball finishes. And when you have
they
a
cross
season,
over
they
a little
cross
bit, yeah.
over quite. And the thing is, watching basketball, you know who guys. If you see a guy in the street and he was a basketball player, you will know exactly who he is.
You stick out like a sore thumb, Jeff.
I do, but NBA guys do because they're plastered on every billboard, every commercial, every shoe.
I'm tired of seeing Blake Griffin.
I'm tired of
And
seeing
Shaq's all over the place.
But you look at baseball players. The marketing out here out west. Do you see commercials with local baseball players hawking items? You don't see them.
No, not really.
And football players, a couple you do. But if football does it the right way, they don't market players. They market teams. NBA markets players.
That's true.
Major League Baseball, I think they're having a hard time in the inner city. You're not getting there aren't sandlot games in Los Angeles. There aren't sandlot games in Compton. There aren't sandlot games that used to be in Crenshaw. And think of the great players that have come out of Crenshaw High School. Eric Davis. Eric Davis was a great player.
Was it Darryl Strawberry?
Darryl
My
Strawberry
guy was one of them.
I mean, those guys played sandlot baseball, and they were able to afford. You didn't have to pay money to play baseball. Now, if you want to be a baseball player, you got to play travel ball. Travel ball has hurt the inner city players. It has hurt the brand of Major League Baseball. In the NBA, you can just take a basketball and you go out and shoot baskets. In football, it's almost year round. If you play high school football, you are lifting weights year round. You take a couple weeks off in the summer and you're back into the grind. I just think that Major League Baseball needs to do something to get back to the grassroots to get guys playing. But I think the NBA and the NFL have done it correctly. There are so many things going on throughout the year, and they've done it perfectly. The NFL is the model. the NBA is now following suit.
All right, Jeff also wants to see baseball in Montreal. We're going to talk about Major League Baseball expansion because it is a hot topic right now. The commissioner, Rob Manfred of the Major League Baseball MLB commissioner, he was talking about possible cities where they could move to, expand to, maybe go back to, and it would also rework what Major League Baseball's divisions would look like. Jeff, I took the liberty of creating new MLB divisions here on the West Coast.
You did?
Just for you. I think I have it all figured out in case this happens.
Is Peoria on your list?
No, it's not.
It's not? Okay.
No, but there are some major cities that you will recognize. We'll talk about it next on the one and only Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
We're small, family-owned, strive for quality pre-owned vehicles. We're not a volume dealer, and we take every deal as personal to us. We're a low-stress environment. We're not a pressure sales house. If you want to shop us, you're more than welcome to shop us. We have, like I said, great rates, competitive financing, a lot of one-owner, clean Carfax, clean title vehicles. As you see, we have Carfax everywhere. That's most important to us, to educate our customers before they make a purchase. We're right off of Ontario, right off a couple exits off the 15 freeway, off Cahelco, off El Cerrito, and we're right on the main drag going into Dos Logos and the Crossings. We have great financing, we have great lenders that we're using. We do buy, sell, trade, cash for your car. Whatever we need to do to help accommodate the customer, that's what we're here for. We have a little bit of everything. We start at about $69.95 and go all the way up to $100,000. We have Escalades, we have commuters, we have pickup trucks, we have Jeeps, sport utilities, and if we don't have it, our specialty is finding you exactly what you're looking for. We're a small, family-owned, strive for quality pre-owned vehicles. We're not a volume dealer, and we take every deal as personal to us. We're a low-stress environment. We're not a pressure sales house. If you want to shop us, you're more than welcome to shop us. We have, like I said, great rates, competitive financing, a lot of one-owner, clean Carfax, clean title vehicles. As you see, we have Carfax everywhere. That's most important to us, to educate our customers before they make a purchase. We're right off of Ontario, right off a couple exits off the 15 freeway, off Cajelco, off El Cerrito, and we're right on the main drag going into Dos Logos and the Crossings. We have great financing, we have great lenders that we're using. We do buy, sell, trade, cash for your car. Whatever we need to do to help accommodate the customer, that's what we're here for. We have a little bit of everything. We start at about $69.95 and go all the way up to $100,000. We have Escalades, we have commuters, we have pickup trucks, we have Jeeps, sport utilities, and if we don't have it, our specialty is finding you exactly what you're looking for.
Search your feelings, you know it to be true.
Now back to the Inland Sports Show. Here's Pep and Jeff.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM, live and amplified every single day from 3 to 6 p.m. Jeff, you can correct me if I'm wrong. You usually do.
Yeah.
Doesn't the Senator have connections to Hillcrest? Just hit me.
The Senator, well, before he was a senator, he was the golf and tennis coach.
Oh,
and he was a teacher there. I don't want to say who he is because he's really famous.
We got to keep it incognito.
Very incognito. Yes. But yes, he is a Hillcrest through and through. But I met him when he was the legendary administrator at Norte Vista High School, the best we ever had. He's one of my closest friends. We laugh, we cry. We've shared a lot. We've shared martinis. We've shared a lot.
A lot of tears.
A lot of tears.
Crying.
A lot of tears. A lot of crying in my martinis.
Just lucky, I guess, I wore my Hillcrest.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
All right, we're brought to you by our good friends at Boost Performance Training in Corona with Coach Ray Bass. Make sure you give them a follow on Instagram and Twitter. See all the cool things they're doing out there with local athletes and athletes of all sports. Doesn't matter if it's golf, lacrosse, baseball. Of course they do football. Ray Bass was a big-time star at Centennial and the University of Hawaii. Check them out, boosttrainingsystems.com, Boost Performance Training. Speaking of football, I told you I was unearthing a bunch of boxes. So my in-laws, full disclosure, my in-laws have a church in Redlands, and they're moving stuff around. And I was moving boxes all morning, just building up this big sweat. Jeff, I unearthed...
You look thinner, by the way. You look thinner.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I feel pretty good, actually.
Nice pecs.
I unearthed a Keyshawn Johnson Tampa Bay Buccaneers jersey.
Did you wear it?
No, I could actually wear it. It's my size, but I took some pictures of it. I'm going to put it on social media. Look, just so you know I'm not lying, because why would I lie to you? You're like my brother. Why would I lie to you? And I'm like, why is there a Keyshawn Johnson jersey in the bottom of this, box that hasn't been unearthed in years? Just trying to trying to solve that one today.
I think you need to go home and wash it and then wear it tomorrow. But remember, I told you yesterday.
You want me to wear it tomorrow?
Yeah, I want you to wear
I'll wear it tomorrow.
But remember what I said. My rule was
exactly. That's where I'm going. What's your rule, Jeff?
Hey, if you are over 40 and you wear a jersey, make sure it has your last name, not like LeBron James or Rich Hill or Yasiel Puig. Or you don't want to see those on grown men unless your name is actually on it. See, I won't wear a jersey unless it says Gorham. I just won't do it. But you, Pep?
I might wear the Keyshawn Johnson. I might do it tomorrow because.
That would be kind of funny.
You'll be like, where'd you get that old thing?
You know what? I think you should come in with your hat backwards.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. There was a Tampa Bay Buccaneers beanie with it. I could go all out. Beanies. Bucks all the way, right?
It's only 119 outside.
I'm gonna
go ahead
do
and bring that beanie in.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go all Keyshawn Johnson tomorrow. I'm gonna look real cool.
That would be
man.
really funny.
Yeah.
And you should wear the shirt backwards so it's just Johnson across your chest.
What was that? You guys are the music guys. Who were those kids that wear their clothes
Crisscross!
Crisscross.
Hey, make you want to jump.
Probably
jump,
around the same time.
Yeah,
now
now
this Bucks jersey came out.
Yeah. Now
like when the Cowboys were at Kowloon, right? Just like a couple years ago.
But guys, it's just Chris now.
Wait, did the other one pass away?
The other one's gone. So
is that real?
Yeah. Makes you want to jump. Just one jump.
That's so wrong.
That's mean. I know. I besmirched the name of Cross.
That's so wrong. You know what else would be really wrong?
What?
Expanding in Major League Baseball.
No,
do we really?
Yes,
do we need more teams?
Yes, we do. We need more teams.
The pitching already stinks, so we've diluted it already.
No, we need more baseball.
We do?
Well, yeah, no one hits ground balls anymore. All they do is strike out or hit home runs.
That's true.
Then you can bring in more teams because you pitchers that can be.
If you want more
blah.
home runs, then we'll expand and bring more pitchers who can't pitch, and we'll have more home runs if that's what you want.
Baseball was better 10, 15, 20 years ago than it is today. I'm tired of the analytics. I'm tired of guys saying swing for the fences. I like old school baseball.
What about the velo?
The velo.
Did you see that guy's velo?
That guy's got great velo.
His WAR rating, man, that guy's WAR rating
all
is
that stuff is mumbo jumbo. I am in agreement with Rob Manfred in Major League Baseball expansion. Where are these teams going to be, Pep Fernandez?
Yeah, he wants to do it. Here's the cities that the commissioner listed. Portland, which is a AAA city. Las Vegas, a AAA city.
Ooh, Vegas is a great one.
Charlotte, a AAA city. Nashville, I'm pretty sure they have AAA baseball. Montreal.
Bring it back.
Bring it back.
I think they should.
Expo.
They should have never left.
And Vancouver.
Okay, that's a bad idea.
But Vancouver's kind of a major league town, right? They got hockey at least. They
Get the hell
tried
out
the
of here.
Grizzlies. That didn't work out, but they tried the Grizzlies.
No, get Vancouver. Vegas, though, I think, with the Raiders coming, you already have the Knights, the Golden Knights, or whatever they're called.
They got hockey. They're going to have NFL. They got WNBA.
Oh, yeah, they got the Aces.
Did they have the NBA All-Star game?
Did they? Kareem broke his record, broke the scoring record at UNLV. Did you know that?
No.
A regular season game was played in Vegas. Was when Kareem threw a sky hook to break the all-time scoring record over Wilt Chamberlain. I don't know how I know that. It's true, though. It happened like 35 years ago. It seems like.
I did not know that.
But no, Las Vegas should bring NBA basketball. I think they need to bring all three.
Well, they've already got the arena. They built it for the Golden Knights.
They've got several arenas. They could go to the MGM, has a beautiful arena. There's the other one, the other goofy, one of the Gold Coast, one of those places. Orleans has a beautiful arena.
Orleans has a arena.
Yeah.
But now they have T-Mobile. I mean,
T-Mobile.
Garth Brooks goes there. They got the Golden Knights. Everybody goes there.
If Garth Brooks goes there, he can bring an NBA team, for gosh sake.
All right, so here's what Commissioner Manfred had to say. So if they did expand with some of these newer cities, they would have to realign some of these divisions because they want to do it based on geography. It's all about location, location, location. So here's my proposed West Division. Not American League, not National League, just a West Division.
No, changing up big time there, Mr.
Dodgers, Angels, Padres, D-backs, and Las Vegas. That would almost be like your Southwest Division, your West Division, because we're throwing in Las Vegas now. Now let's add Vancouver and Portland to the mix. Here's your Northwest Division or your Pacific Division. Giants, A's, Mariners, Portland, and Vancouver. I think that would work. I just gave you two divisions that would work geographically. Proximity-wise, it makes sense.
I just don't know if Vancouver could really carry a team. They didn't carry the basketball team. They do well in hockey, but even then, they don't sell out every night. Portland, I think, would be a great place. Portland, look at what the MLS team has done. Their soccer team.
Portland Timbers is popping off up there.
It's unbelievable.
Yes.
You go. I went up to Portland a couple summers ago, and I'm telling you, it was like I was going to a rugby match in New Zealand. There was
the Kiwis.
There was thousands of people marching the streets going to watch MLS soccer, which I didn't even know existed. That's how I found out about it. And that is a very profitable franchise. I could see baseball being fantastic. The Trailblazers get amazing fans up there.
A
in
lot
the
of
Garden.
fan base up there for the Blazers. The only thing that bothers me, having the Dodgers and Angels in the same division, having the Giants and A's in the same division, it just doesn't sound right as a baseball purist. It just doesn't sound right. All
Now,
right.
did Rob Manfred say he was going to change the National League to American League? I mean, was that part of the equation?
No, he just said they'd have to create some new divisions based on location.
Oh.
Because the scheduling and the travel aspect to it, they'd have to do something if they're going to expand. When we come back, we're going to wrap things up. Again, Rancho Cucamonga baseball coming your way in just about 1 hour. This is the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
We're a small family-owned, strive for quality pre-owned vehicles. We're not a volume dealer, and we take every deal as personal to us. We're a low-stress environment. We're not a pressure sales house. If you want to shop us, you're more than welcome to shop us. We have, like I said, great rates, competitive financing, a lot of one-owner, clean Carfax, clean title vehicles. As you see, we have Carfax everywhere. That's most important to us, to educate our customers before they make a purchase. We're right off of Ontario, right off a couple exits off the 15 freeway, off Cajelco, off El Cerrito, and we're right on the main drag going into Dos Logos and the Crossings. We have great financing, we have great lenders that we're using. We do buy, sell, trade, cash for your car. Whatever we need to do to help accommodate the customer, that's what we're here for. We have a little bit of everything. We start at about $69.95 and go all the way up to $100,000. We have Escalades, we have commuters, we have pickup trucks, we have Jeeps, sport utilities, and if we don't have it, our specialty is finding you exactly what you're looking for.
Focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. Just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Here's Pep and Jeff.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. Again, it's been a big day. Shohei Ohtani approved for a pitching, or I should say throwing program. So we may see him pitching at some point later in the season. We got Brendan Steele, the pride of UCR. Him at high, just 2 strokes off the lead at the British Open. He's at 3 under par after the first round. It's been a big, big show, and it's all brought to you by Catalano Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. You can save $500 when you mention the Inland Sports Show, but only at Catalano Motors. Go check them out. You're going to love it. CatalanoCars.com is their website. That's Catalano Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. Save $500 because of the Inland Sports Show. Jeff, we're going to wrap this thing up with some breaking news, and I know it hits pretty close to home for you.
Yeah, for the entire city of Riverside, you know, there are a few guys, few staples, few coaches that you look at and you go, they're Hall of Famers. This guy was a Hall of Famer. We lost Danny Ariano, longtime coach at Arlington High School. In fact, when I was a young boy, he was the head basketball coach, head football coach, and head baseball coach at Arlington High School. He has 3 wonderful sons, a wife. I'd be remiss to say that everybody in the Riverside area will miss him. I will say one last quick story about Coach Ariano. Back in the day, before you could adopt kids or say they were your players, he would open his garage and he turned it into a room for players that were in Arlington that were homeless, and he took these kids in as their coach. And I want to say he was just one of those special men in Riverside. I've known him my entire life. And Riverside's a little sadder today without him being there. So the Inland Sports team, everybody in Riverside, our hearts go out to the Ariano family. You are in our thoughts and prayers, and we hope you get through this trying time. So we're going to miss you, Coach Ariano.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. Quakes baseball coming up in just about 50 minutes. Rancho Cucamonga taking on the San Jose Giants right here on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. Tomorrow, hey, we'll talk about Kawhi probably.
Of course.
LeBron and the Lakers and more high school football. It's your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM.
Bye.
In case I don't see ya.